Everything sounds good. Everything sounds good in the neighborhood. I don't even know how to rap, so I'm not even gonna try.
Please, yeah, please.
All right, if you're just joining, we haven't started the show yet. Show's RPGrinders. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Can
fun
anybody
one.
even hear us? We're not in Twitch yet. Are we on YouTube, I guess?
No, we're in both. We should be in both. Should be in
I'm not
both. Might take a second. Just relax. Just calm.
No, god damn it, I don't want to relax.
Let me know if you can hear this break real quick. Yeah.
What is this?
Little bit of White Snake, man. Yeah.
I never heard of White Snake.
This is love. You're lucky.
Oh, fuck that. White Snake is... How dare you, sir? White Snake is fantastic.
White Stank.
White Stank. How dare you? I could tell this is going to be a shitty show. I'm walking off. I'm walking off this show before it even fucking starts. Jesus Christ. Surrounded.
An old man.
How dare you? How dare you? But Breakman knew what that was right away. Not even 2 seconds hesitation.
Yeah, but he's also not into it.
How dare you, Eric, you son of a bitch. You didn't even listen to the song. God damn it. Oh, I could tell
What
this.
little I heard, I didn't care for.
It's a great... God damn it. Just, you know what? Just for that, you're... I am forcing your...
Never started.
I am forcing your ass to listen to this shit, man. How dare you? It's a cover, actually, so I can play it. This guy's really good. He looks like Santa Claus. It's Truth Surge. No, this guy. I'm serious. This guy's a really good guitarist and a really good vocalist. He's on YouTube. It's Truth Surge on YouTube, but he does a lot of old like rock tunes. Like I was listening to him do Iron Maiden and fucking man. This guy's really good. He's really good.
There's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days and sleepless nights. I can't wait to see.
I mean, you know, I can do this song like no problem, like easy. So, you know, it's not that huge of an accomplishment, but still, like, you know, I mean, it's pretty good.
All right.
Oh, how dare you, Breakman? I knew you were gonna duck out, you son of a bitch. I think we're gonna have a lively show this week, Eric. We've got tons of stuff, lots of fun Twitter activity. Not a lot of news, but that's okay. I don't know if you added any news since I last looked at it, but it doesn't look like you did, so that's cool.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, let's see. The last one I had was Valhalla, so let me go ahead and add the 50 million other news stories. No, just kidding, Eric. Let's add that one. And we'll add that one. And put that over here. And Jesus, Eric, you added a bunch. Alright, we'll put that right here. Yakuza. And then God Eater. And I believe this is the final story. What else we got here? Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. Right on. You alright, Eric? You feel a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, sorta. Sorta, kinda. Alright, if you're just joining us, show's RPGrinders. We're gonna have a lively show today. Lots to talk about. Lots in the news. I'm going to be bitching about shit, which I normally do anyway, so, you know, it's all good.
I need to look for something for my stinko, but I can get it ready before then.
I'm sure you can, man. I didn't get a chance to read that story you sent me, Eric. I'll have to do it probably after I do a GDP. I'm pumped, man. We're going to have a GDP tonight. I'm going to leave a little space between the show and the other show, the Grinder Dance Party, so that way everybody can eat or whatever. I should be good to go. I got some Dr. Pepper, or as they call it, Dr. Thunder in the hood.
Yeah, I found my stinko right here, but the site won't load for me.
That sucks, man.
All I have to say is our governor can go suck a dick.
I think Breakman's gonna bitch about that too, man. So you guys are in the same boat. I know Break was highly upset at you guys as governor, and I don't blame him. I just don't.
This is the bullshitter that wanted to keep marriage illegal.
You know what? I don't have a free-for-all tonight, so I want to talk about that then. Let's spill that over to... When you guys do your stinkos, we'll spill that over to free-for-all unless you have something else, Eric. I know you had something last week you wanted to talk about, but we'll talk about it again. We haven't started the show. Yep. Go ahead.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's okay. If you think of it, we'll add it. But that'll be a big topic for today, for sure. Lots to get to. Bernie's not going to be in chat tonight because Bernie's in Phoenix doing a wedding today, her brother's wedding. So she won't even be joining Grinder Dance Party, I don't think. Unless she might pop in during Grinder Dance Party, which would be cool because I'll play a song for the wedding crew, and the theme tonight is nasty. So if you're gonna
I'm not gonna be able to see Hellboy until next week. So
that sucks.
It's getting eviscerated in the ratings.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. I got a free ticket anyways, courtesy of our friends over at Geek Vibe Nation. So shout out to those guys. I'll probably give them another shout out during the show. It was cool. They just on Twitter. I just asked and I received. I've been getting a lot of free shit on Twitter, man. I mean, you'd be surprised. Like, people be giving away free pizzas and all kinds of shit on Twitter. So, you know.
I'd like a free pizza.
Follow Slay Preem, man. They give away, like, Chipotle and fucking pizzas, and they sell Funkos. They're like reseller of Funko Pops, but they give away free shit. I mean, sometimes you just see their tweet and you just ask, and they fucking provide, man. I got a free Domino's pizza the other day, so I was pretty happy with that. I got a free hat coming from Geek Vibe Nation. I got that ticket that they gave me, which for some reason the code didn't work until today, so that was kind of weird. But other than that, it's all good. Did you guys obviously? Yeah, go ahead. Break.
Probably because like yesterday was just early release type of deal.
Yeah, Break. What were you saying?
Nothing.
How dare you? How dare you interrupt, Breakman? Don't ever do that.
I
man.
didn't.
I know. Just give me shit, man. I don't see anybody in chat yet. So, and do you guys see anybody in chat? Because I always like to make sure that people out in chatland can hear first. If you want to tweet Outbreak, that'd be fucking fantastic.
If I felt like it.
If you felt like it. Do you feel like it?
Nah.
Okay, well, you got to get your Twitter up anyways to, get all the lovely stuff coming to us from Arizona today, man. There was... Bernie was talking to me and, like, giving me a bunch of questions. She's like, I was like, you ask whatever you want. You know, don't be asking me, man. So
we got our free-for-all topic.
Oh, okay. Did you put
it's technically our stinko, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, I know you're going to be talking about it. What's going on in Ohio, man? It's fucking weird. You guys live in a whack state, man, for sure.
Well, like, this whole thing is, he's saying now, like, well, we're going to follow the laws of the country. So, like, the whole point of this is basically you just using the state of Ohio to spread your extreme right-wing views.
Yeah, well,
at the expense of Ohio.
Well, isn't
basically
Ohio's a red state, anyways, isn't it? Like, other than Cleveland, and Columbus, I think it's pretty solidly red, man. I mean, if I look at the elections correctly, like that state's pretty red.
No, it's purple.
Purple? Ugh. Every time I see elections over there, it's always on the red side, man. Like last two times I've seen Ohio turn blue were with Obama, and I believe it was like super close.
It's
like,
purple
really
because
close.
the House is run by the Democrats, but the Senate's still run by...
So in other words, nothing ever gets done in Ohio, just like our...
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Houses are the ones that fucked up this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
In some cities like Cincinnati, we've had I think, one Republican on our council every time there's an election out of 9. And we haven't had a Republican mayor since like the 60s.
Jesus Christ, man.
So it's like all Democrat in Cincinnati. And,
well, Cincinnati,
you know, I mean, it's still screwed up.
Usually the what you call it, the cities in almost every state, like even Alabama, man, like not necessarily, like Montgomery, I believe, is pretty blue, but everything else, man, it's you know, like if you get into the rural shit, like, you know, it's always red, and I don't understand that. Even in Colorado,
it's because they're so separated, I think, and they don't see the rest of the world. They only see what they see. You know, their small lives and their small communities and stuff like that. You know, so like they're all white people, and that's the way they want it, and they've been bred their whole lives, like their parents and grandparents and stuff like that. They hate the minorities and stuff like that. Hate change.
I know, but like,
and they pass it on to their kids, and it just keeps rolling downhill.
Yeah, it's the same way everywhere, Breakman. But the point I'm trying to make, like, it's not the fucking 50s anymore. You know what I mean? We're fucking 60, 70, 80 years out from that fucking era. You know, so like, why do they continue to foster these stupid, broken ideas that don't work time and time again? You know, the number one people that bitch about the economy is fucking Republicans. I mean, year after year after year after fucking year. Anyways, we'll get into it.
I love how like they bitch about like the economy and the deficit and stuff like that, and then they get in and they spend like crazy.
Oh, I mean, this Trump budget, it's fucking nuts, man. The Trump tax cuts.
How can you claim to be fiscally conservative and then absolutely do the opposite? And people still believe you. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's weird. Looks like Freak 5 is in chat. Let us know if you can hear us. Freak 5 have kind of been waiting for somebody in chat to give us confirmation. We haven't started the show yet, so you joined in time. Commander Root's in chat. Welcome, Commander Root. Yeah, he says, wow, Anna and Frank is complaining. Oh, it's gonna be a heck of a show today, Freak 5. You have no fucking idea, man. Ohio's fucking nuts. Iowa's nuts for a lot of reasons.
The whole world's nuts at this point.
Some of Colorado is nuts, man. I mean, we did a really good thing by making weed legal, but that's, I mean, we got this fucking Republican senator named Cory Gardner that's a fucking piece of shit, man. He sucks. I've written him several times, but I always get the standard fucking dumb response, you know.
Yeah, that's why I don't waste my time doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
People say, call your senator, complain to your senator and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't matter how many calls and complaints they get. They have their people answer those for them, you know? Like, listen to their emails and read their mail and shit like that.
Freak 5, how dare you? You are the one. I mean, that's your car. You secretly love the Cullens and Twilight, man. I know that's what that is, but... All right, let's get started with the show, guys. You guys ready to go? Eric, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Hey, Freak 5, tonight's Grinder Dance Party is inspired by you, but I'm gonna give it an all-encompassing nasty theme. So, you know, it's gonna be I Poop Today under the title Nasty, so people have a chance to put in some nasty songs. So, you know, that's
I want to find that Cut the Cheese song. I've never been able to find that. I haven't heard that since like the 80s.
Well, I'm sure if you stick around, Break, you'll have plenty of chance to do whatever you want, because, man, I've got a few songs in mind, but I mean, I pooped today. I had a hard time coming up with songs, but Freak 5 apparently has 50 million pooping songs, so I'm gonna have to rely on him for those. But I included Nasty because I got a few songs that can be considered quite nasty. So that's what the theme is going to be. Are you sure you want to do that? I'm not entirely sure I want to do that, Freak 5. But hey, if you're going to go back to doing Grinder Dance Party, you might as well do it with a bang. So there you go. All right, Eric, you ready to go?
I don't doubt his claim.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Break, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's get this party started. There'll be karaoke on today's show, too. I hope you guys enjoy that. Anyways, here we go.
Who's Carrie?
Damn it. Hang on a second. This fucking thing. All right, here we go. Break, man. All right, here we go. everybody, to an all-karaoke edition of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you? Start with you, Break.
You'd have to pay me to do karaoke.
Yeah, we're not doing karaoke on the show, although I can do some songs. You know, I'm not too bad of a singer. Just ask Bernie. Bernie's not going to be in chat today, but yes, Bernie. I don't do
According
too
to Freak, he would rather sound his penis with a jalapeno pepper than listen to Frank sing.
You know what? We're starting early. Freak 5, you're exiled, you son of a bitch.
I'm horrified by that entire sentence.
Well, I'm horrified by the beginning of it, but listening to me sing is a treat, and everybody should treat it that way. So, you know, that's what I'm saying.
I was wondering what sound meant, because, like, I've never heard it being used that way.
Like inserting things in
we've already talked about that.
Yes, we have talked about sounding and pegging and every other goddamn thing that we've talked about on this show. This is definitely a kid-friendly show, so bring the kids.
There are a few things that make me uncomfortable, but that makes me very uncomfortable.
I've seen that shit before, man. I mean, haven't you been on the internet? Haven't you ever been on the internet, man? You know, 2 chicks, 1 cup type thing.
You don't have to watch those videos.
Oh no, trust me, I'm with you, brother, man. Like
I'm thankful I haven't watched those.
Oh, gee, you haven't seen
like I know what 2 cups, 2 girls, 1 cup is, so I don't need to.
You got to do that challenge. I'm challenging you right now, Breakman. You've got to look at the first minute of that. Like 1 minute. That's all you got to do.
No.
He's like, no, I don't. I don't really have to do that.
No,
shit.
Freak, no, we're not playing that game.
I watch regular porn, Freak 5. How dare you? I don't watch no nonsense like you, man. All right, let's get started with the news. Eric, take us away for news story numero uno.
News story is Project Eve, and I think we talked about this before, but I think we've got like it was just an announcement. I think we've got platforms and possible release window. But so it's planned for release on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Oh wait, there is no window. But it is an action RPG, and it has a main character that reminds me of Shinoa from Order of Ecclesia for some reason.
Yeah, I like the trailer. The trailer's stylish. It's no gameplay, but you know, it's the standard.
It's got the artist from the person who did the Magna Carta games.
Oh yeah, I love that artist, man. That artist is wicked, man. Who is that artist? Because the artist from Magna Carta is fantastic. It's not Jay Lee, is it?
No, it's this Hong Tae Kim.
Okay, yeah.
Korean.
I really like that artist, man. If anybody ever seen the artwork for Magna Carta, it's fantastic. It's just, I mean, I just love the art style of that dude. I should look at more of his work, but it looks, I mean, the trailer cinematic, it's along the lines of you know, like a Square Enix type trailer, but to get you hyped for a game, but no gameplay. I didn't see any gameplay in the trailer, so I'm playing it for y'all right now. I don't know what else to say about this, Eric. Are you excited for this?
A little.
Yeah, a little bit of hype, I guess. You know, we'll see how it goes, though. All right, Breakman.
I mean, like a Korean studio doing a game of this magnitude is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
the video looks like really good as far as full motion video. You know.
Oh yeah. That's what I was. You know, that's what I was commenting on, man. Like it looks like you know, like Square Enix quality trailer. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they get you all hype with the really spiffy trailer and all that type of shit, you know. So, all right, Break, what do we got next?
We don't have free popcorn with our beer like Freak got tonight. That's ridiculous.
What? Jesus Christ, man. Everybody gets nice things except for me. How dare you?
Well, you were just talking about how you got free stuff before the show.
What stuff?
Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I need more free stuff.
I need more free stuff, too, man. We got to keep the illusion that I'm like, you know.
If it's free, it's for me.
Exactly.
Coming to us live from Silicon Air, a coffee brewing and heart-to-heart talking simulator, Coffee Talk, heads to PS4.
There's nothing to do with SNL.
What in the hell are we playing now?
Is this real?
Yeah.
Is April's Fool's? I thought we passed that day. No, it's not April Fool's.
No,
okay.
this is a thing.
Developer Toge Productions, Indie Coughing Brewing and Heart to Heart Talking Simulator. Coffee Talk is added to PS4 and Xbox One in fall of 2014.
Okay.
Where's the Switch version, fuckers?
Yeah.
Coffee Talk is a game described as a VA11 Hall A inspired heart-to-heart talking simulator game where you listen to the problems of fantasy-inspired modern people. God, I don't like listening to real people's problems.
You know,
I was them out by serving them a nice cup of Joe.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, there's a niche for this type of game, right? I mean, the more I listen to this, the more I kind of want to. Play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like. At first, you're like, this is such an off-the-wall, ridiculous idea. It's sort of like in the same vein of, what was that game, the lawyer game, Eric? Fuck, what is it?
Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney. Like, it was such an off-the-wall idea. You're playing as a lawyer, right? But it turned out to be really fucking fun, you know? So this might be one of those type of games, you know, that you're like, what? I mean, it sounds preposterous, but it might fill a niche, I guess, is the best way to put it. But what do you think?
Freak wants to know if you can pour coffee off them if they're can you pour hot coffee on them if they have stupid fucking problems?
You know, that would be awesome. Like, you see a line of people and there's like a guy harassing a chick, and like the chick grabs a hot coffee and just like throws in a dude's face, and he's like, you know, and you just see like a full motion video of like the skin peeling from his face. I think that'd be pretty good. Justice, man.
Here are the bullet points of the game. Tales of people from an alternative Seattle, a city where elves, orcs, mermaids, and many other fantasy races live together with humans in a modern world we will all find familiar. How the hell are mermaids getting around?
Well, I mean, there's ports. I mean, you can go.
Can they use like magic to get feet or something?
Yeah.
It's like the whole Little Mermaid complex, man. Come on, man. You guys see
branching story. So she had the lizard voice. Branching storylines where the branches are determined not by the dialogue options you choose. What the fuck? This is a talking game. But from how you serve your cafe customers, are you kidding me? Like, you don't like. Oh, that's.
They just have a different conversation.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something.
Like.
I'm gonna do something.
90s anime. I'm sorry, Frank.
I was gonna do something that Breakman always does to me. He likes to read like Freak 5, what Freak 5 actually says in chat. He says, "I have a free kick to the balls for you, Break." And then
I know. I want to know why.
Because you said free is for you. That's why. That's what he said.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, would you just randomly start talking about something? It's probably like they get in the mood to tell you stuff.
Yeah, like you're sitting down and you're like sitting next to somebody and you're like, hey, you know,
it just seems weird that you don't get. I guess I'm so used to games like Mass Effect and stuff where you get to choose the dialogue options you're going with. And this one, like you give them like an espresso and they get happy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like more
give
apt
them, like,
to talk.
A triple shot of espresso and they just won't shut up for an hour.
That would be awesome, man. No, you know what? I think this is a purely Japanese thing. You know, like how we go to restaurants and we sit down and we're just like in our bubble, right? Whoever's with us at the table, that's who we're conversing with. We're never like social with other people at the restaurants. I mean, you look around, but you're never gonna like sit there and talk to people. It's kind of awkward, right? To us here in the United States. Shit, in Japan, I saw videos of people sitting in restaurants all talking with each other. Hey, how's it going? Whatever they're saying, you know, blah, 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 having a good old time. Because the restaurants are kind of closer knit, you know, like you kind of have to interact with others and stuff. So I don't know. It just seems like a cultural thing to me. Freak5 says the guy complains about being in the friend zone and you can pour hot coffee on his crotch. That would be sweet. Yeah.
Well, really part of the problem is Americans have been groomed since, you know, we're young for against stranger danger.
Oh, dude, I could go all day on stranger danger. It's the stupidest talking point in all of American talk.
I'm telling you, we've all been groomed for it, and that's a lot of the problem why we don't like interacting with one another.
Yeah, I mean, people get really afraid, like stranger danger, and people are getting stolen all the time, which is absolutely not true. I mean, it does happen, but it's
I
so
don't like
rare.
interacting with people because people are just generally awful.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that statement.
That's an overgeneralization. I actually think people are good, and you can actually, you know.
It depends on where you go. Like, for instance, Walmart.
Well, Walmart's the exception, man. Come on, man. Nobody wants to talk in Walmart. Everybody's like, I want to grab my shit and get out. You know, like that's how Walmart is.
It's such a weird place. There are some people that are nice in there, or some people that are angry, and there's some people that seem normal, and then they just want to fight. Like, what the fuck is going on? You just walk by somebody. Did you look at me wrong? I was looking at the toilet paper. Bam! Oh my god, why did you hit me?
Freak says, I've been seeing ads from the iOS game where your character is going through different stories and you get to make choices on how to react. The ad is usually about a woman coming home and catching her boyfriend cheating, and then gives the option of starting a fight or joining in. So he decided to download it and see if it's any good. Yeah, why not, man? Give it a shot. All right, is that all?
Probably terrible.
Do the fight. I want to know the fight. Do the fight.
No, I want to do the joining in. Come on, are you crazy, Breakman? That's a chance to have a threesome. Are you serious? Any chance you get to do a threesome, man, you go for it. Do they give you a chance for threesomes in Mass Effect?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ooh, that'd be sweet, man. We need more games like that. We need games like that.
More God of Wars.
Yes, absolutely. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a stinko I could tell you about. BioWare sucks.
Well, yeah. I mean that's a given, man. But
yeah.
All right. Any more on?
Anybody read the news lately?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a couple more bulletins, but I think we've talked enough about this game.
Yeah. All right.
I put it in chat. They can read it in chat. And,
move on to
check it out. It's called Coffee Talk. If you want to know more.
Yeah.
If you want a game about talking and coffee.
Yep. Remember,
no violence. There you go.
Yep. Remember, I mentioned Ace Attorney. Well, this comes to us from Siliconera. Great Ace Attorney and Great Ace Attorney 2 demo fan translation complete. It's known as Gayakuten. I should have given this one to fucking Breakman. Jesus Christ. Sayaban in Japan.
A Great Ape game.
Yakuden.
Yakudan, there you go, has been steadily getting English translation updates over the years since the game's release, thanks to fan translation group Scarlet Study. And last week they released a finished patch that will bring all 5 story episodes into English. Patch has 2 different versions, one for the original 3DS and one that is for the Android version of the Great Ace Attorney that released 2 years ago. Android version also supports BlueStacks and other Android emulators as well.
So you can play it on your PC.
Yes. I would assume so. Furthermore, Scarlet Study translated the 3DS demo for the Great Ace Attorney 2. I always wondered how these work because I don't do PC gaming at all. And how would it work on the 3DS? Do you like download a file for it?
You'd have to get Homebrew and then
I got you.
Get stuff on your, like, I guess most 3DS games use like modified SD cards.
Ah, okay. Well, that works. That'd be fun.
And then like you put your mini SD into the SD adapter, or like if you've got a new 3DS, I guess you just stick it in the back.
Gotcha. All right. Let's.
Or you buy like a weird R4 type cartridge for your cartridge slot, and you run that through Homebrew.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's nice to have the option, you know, for the homebrewers out there. I don't suggest doing homebrewing until like after.
If I buy Great Ace Attorney, it's probably going to be Android, and I'm going to use BlueStacks to play it.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing homebrew until like, you know, towards the end of a device's life.
Well,
yeah, like you really need a lot of experience in home brewing before you get really good at it. I mean, you probably want to stick to the store brand alcohol first.
Yeah, yeah, of course, and then
the home brewing, like it takes a lot of effort. I mean, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Great Ace Detective 2 is underway.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story, Eric.
Next story is about let's see. It's all we were talking about Valhalla earlier, but it's coming to Switch, and I got review code, but I can't talk about it. But I haven't played it at all yet.
Okay, well, cool.
But it's coming to PS4 and Switch on May 2nd. So just in a couple weeks. Okay.
All right, so I guess that's all we have to really know about that. I know we've talked about Valhalla, and I apologize for the ringing in the background.
I should have reviewed it, like, for PC way back when, but like going on 2 years now. But at least I could finally rectify this. It's on a console that I wouldn't mind playing it on.
Yeah. All right, break. Let's do next story.
Okay, this is weird. Me and Freak are talking about Hanna-Barbera and those old like cartoons from the 50s and 60s, and there's an ad on here for Hanna-Barbera.
That's weird. Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, no, it's yes, Hanna-Barbera. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yes.
Why you gotta be mean to me?
It wouldn't be
The
the
video
show.
says what ruined Hanna-Barbera, but I'm pretty sure they did it to themselves.
Oh yeah, Hanna-Barbera's got a long history. They fucked themselves for sure. This is a.
Yep.
Did I mention that this is a family show where we never curse or do anything?
Yeah, I know, it's fucking weak.
I know, fucking sucks.
Then
huh?
again, Hanna-Barbera was never good. It was just,
There were some
it
good
was-
stuff.
Me and Freak are talking about some of the good.
it was
cartoons
the only
today.
thing that existed back then, so it's what we had.
What were you saying, Break?
Well, we're talking about stuff like Jabberjaw and Captain Caveman.
Oh, Captain
those
Caveman was
could-
awesome, man.
Yes, those were classic cartoons.
Yeah, Captain Caveman. Yeah, I like that shit.
He's talking about the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah.
And the oh shit, what were those called? The races. I love those. I mean, there was a race where Dick Dastardly and Muttley won. I mean, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
They never get the win, and they won.
Yeah, I know. I love shit like that when like the underdog like
They-
that always loses finally wins one. You know, it's like that race where what is it? The Nationals do that race with the three, and it's like Roosevelt never wins or one of them, and then they win. It's like the ultimate underdog story, man. Gotta love that shit. Let's see. Freak 5, you're exiled. I'm gonna read this, but you're exiled for this comment. He says, speaking of Captain Caveman, one of my exes when we had sex, we would yell "Unga Bunga" when we came. Boy, oh boy, that's a TMI as far as I'm concerned. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Break.
Coming to us live from RPG site, NIS America officially announced Udawaru Rumu. Oh my god, not this goddamn title again. Shit, I remember this now. Udawaru Rumano. Following an early leak yesterday, NIS America has officially announced that this game will be launching in North America and Europe in the fall for the PlayStation 4.
You should just have Mrs. Breakman pronounce all your Japanese words, Break. I'm telling you.
Utaware Rudomono.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I said
whatever
that.
makes us.
Yeah, but you never said Zan.
Oh.
That's a part of the title.
Sorry.
Whatever.
This action-packed brawler is a reimagination of the story of Haku, a man with no memories, and the great conflict that
Wait a minute, like Haku the
consumes
wrestler?
land he calls home.
Haku's in this game? Sweet. You don't remember Haku the wrestler, do you, Break?
Not that guy.
Oh, damn, that would be sweet. Haku's like notoriously like one of the most badass wrestlers ever. You didn't fuck with the Haku. All right, I'm sorry, Break. Go ahead. Break's like, fuck off. Did we lose Break? Did we lose you, Eric? No, we got you.
No.
Where's Breakman? Did we lose Breakman? Breakman, are you on mute? We cannot hear you.
Tell me Miss Braken was taking over his headset.
Mrs. Breakman's like, I can't stand you saying Japanese names anymore. We need to get some sanity back to this. Breakman, you there? No, I guess not. All right. So yeah, this thing's
But
coming
this
up.
is basically Dynasty Warriors, but this game.
Yeah, and there's apparently an unmasked edition with some artwork and a select soundtrack, which I always hate because
And it's probably like $100.
it's $79.99, so not far off. Not far off.
Oh wait, so this isn't This isn't Dynasty Warriors, although it's kind of close because it's made by the people who did the Senran Kagura games.
Yeah. There's also a Zan edition. Oh no, the Zan edition is $80 and you get more stuff. You get the official soundtrack, so the whole thing.
The Unmasked is probably just like the day one release.
Yeah, you're right. Hardcover art book. What else? You get a paper.
Only
fan.
80, so that means that the other versions, like what?
Yeah. Probably just standard $59.99. Did we lose Break? I don't know what's going on with Break.
Yes.
Why don't you do the next story, Eric, and I'll try to get Break back on.
Okay. We got basically that Octopath Traveler is apparently was dated for June PC release. But apparently Square Enix posted it too early, so they had to take it down.
Yeah. Hey, Break, do we have you back? I think he's on mute. Break. Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Can you
now.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
we
okay.
hear you.
Fuck.
All right, that's okay. We're on to the next story, Octopath Traveler.
My fucking internet, like, wireless connection crashed on this laptop.
That's why I use a wire connection.
Freak
Yeah,
5,
well, I am using the wire now.
yeah, Freak 5 is exiled. He says, get back on. With you not talking, that means we have to hear more of Frank's wonderful voice, is what he said. Why would you be afraid of listening to my awesome voice, Freak 5? You know, I'm just saying. All right, continue on, Break. Or,
Anyways,
Eric.
I was reading this.
Yes, Eric, sorry.
It's stated for June 7th, and let's see, it's not on the Steam store yet, so you'll have to wait a bit longer.
Yeah. Another TV viewers in chat. What's up? Apricot Droop Fruit is back in chat. Welcome back. Commander Root, I said, is in there, and S1 Faka is in there, or Safaka, however you say that. And Tate is in chat. Welcome back, Tate. Thanks for joining. All right.
That's all Frank news.
How dare you, Freak 5? You're exiled again. You got a double exile. All right. Anything else to know about this Octopath Traveler, Eric?
No.
All right. Next.
I accidentally closed the stupid chat.
Oh, that's okay. Just get back on there. All right. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. I think we already had this story. Yakuza Kiwami 2 announced for PC. And it's coming May 9th. So that's the story. It's going to be, looks like 30 euros, or no, 30 bucks, 30 euros, and 24.
Yeah, like the other ones.
Yeah, so that's a good price for the PC guys.
Or rather like 6, because the other Yakuza 0 and Yakuza 1 are like 30.
Yeah.
Or 20, sorry.
Catch me outside, how about that, Freak 5 says. Alright, let's see.
He's banned. Kick him.
He's not banned, man. That's actually...
Yeah, no, it's too late. He crossed the line.
He crossed the line, but how about that? All right, Break. I know we're kind of going out of order, but let's...
Coming to us live from RPG site, God Eater 3, Hold the Mayo, is coming to Nintendo Switch on July 12th.
Yeah, there you go.
What about Hold the Mayo?
Well, I mean, I don't like mayo, so I don't want to eat my god with mayo. I mean, if you want to put ketchup, I'd eat ketchup. That's fine.
Well, there you go.
Or barbecue sauce. You know, do you dip a god, or do you eat them on a sandwich?
I think I prefer soup, man. Just throw them in a big...
Raw.
Yeah.
Eat them raw.
Raw. Ugh. Oh, yeah,
And,
like sushi.
Namco Entertainment? How
about just the meat?
Yeah, I was playing this, but I shouldn't, because I always get like copyrighted with the fucking Namco. So, anyways, all right. What else on God? Have you played this game, right, Eric? You played God Eater 2.
I played a little bit of the 2.
Yeah.
I reviewed that, and I also played Resurrection a little bit, but like not nearly as much as I did 2. So I really can't comment on Resurrection, but they're okay.
Yeah, I looked at the artwork. The artwork looks good. I can't look at the trailer.
This one isn't as good as the others.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Well, there's some exclusive content for the Switch. It has a local connection, so you can play with friends without online. It also has a pre-order bonus with costumes based on Tales of Vesperia characters Yuri and Estelle.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice little in-house bonus for everybody. So there you go.
It's also confirmed there will be more updates to this game coming out too.
Yeah, Freak 5
says
that's
because they're still doing DLC for the main game.
Yeah, Freak 5 says, "What god are we eating? I would eat Aphrodite."
They're eating a bunch of different gods.
I would definitely eat Aphrodite, man.
These gods are basically just like monsters, really.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to do the next story. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Caravan Stories Open Beta for PlayStation 4 is now available in Japan with English language. So that probably means it's going to get over here real soon. Previously, this MMORPG, that immediately eliminates it from my queue, was only available for mobile device. I added that little part about my queue.
The development company is named Aiming.
What are they aiming for? So it supports English and traditional Chinese, etc., etc. And you can look at the trailer, which I'm playing for our chat. And if you haven't joined our chat, we are live every Friday, 7 Eastern time. Make sure to join us if you're listening on the archives. We'd love to have you. The chat's gaining more and more people every week. So
I know one of these days we're going to pop out and say busted. What if we do?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go with let's do. I think that's it. That was the last story, I believe. So there you go. There's our news of the week. So why don't we get on to shit? My sound board's all fucked up here. Here we go.
I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
Homie discounts this week. I got some discounts from PlayStation. Not very many. I know there was UFC was the big one. It's now down to $11.99. So for all you sports gaming fanatics, UFC 3 is now available for $12. That's a great deal for a pretty good fucking game. On the Xbox, I did see all the arcade games like Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man, all that stuff for like $2.39. Life is Strange is only $4 the first season, so that's an excellent pickup. That's 80% off. If you haven't played Life is Strange, it's a great game. I recommend highly picking it up for $4. Strider, we've talked extensively about Strider on the show, is $4.50. That's an excellent price there. Lords of the Fallen, $5, not a bad price for that game. Virginia, which I have talked about and reviewed on this very show, is only $5. Cinemora X is $5. Murdered Soul Suspects is a game I've talked about on the show, and it's if you have gold, it's a steal. $5, not bad. Thief is $5, and there's plenty of more on the Xbox system this time around, so check those sales out. But I've given you a few of the highlights. On Nintendo, I didn't see anything super great. Let me look through here. There was one, I think, that kind of got my attention, and I'm not finding it right now. I know you get... it was Diablo 3 was like 30% off. So there you go. Those are your homie discounts, unless you gentlemen had any more for us. Eric, did you have any more? Break, did you have any more?
No.
All right, let's move on to
Twitter comments.
All right, this is going to be, I think, pretty fantastic. Breakman, we've got. I know we have.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh wait. I did not know this, but the Episode 9 trailer is out for Star Wars.
Oh, well, there you go. Breaking news on RPGrinders. It probably broke like 5 days ago, but all right.
No, it was today, actually.
Okay. All right, Breakman, you have...
I have not been paying attention to Twitter, so that's why.
All right, Breakman, you have our Twitter comments and questions.
Okay, this one comes from us from Freak. I saw a bumper sticker while driving home from work and wondered what it meant. Trying to look it up, and once I got home, I realized I should have looked at the license plate. At Frank Branches, are you in Des Moines?
How dare you? Exiled already. I know where this is going. I saw this tweet. Go ahead.
It said, I drive like a Cullen. And as best as I can tell, it is a reference to Twilight.
As best as you can tell.
The Cullens drive cars.
You know for a fact, Freak 5 is playing it off like he's never seen Twilight. Oh, out of the blue, I'm just going to say that this is a Twilight reference. The motherfucker sings every fucking Twilight. His wife probably made him watch those movies 100 times, man. So don't let Freak 5 fool you. And you're exiled, Freak 5. Dungeon Busters in chat, he says, trailer just came out today for Star Wars. I don't know what he's talking about. Next one, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So wait, does Freak have Stockholm Syndrome for Twilight?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there you go. What else we got, Break?
Let me see. From Freak also, I'm excited for Grinder Dance Poopity tomorrow.
Yeah.
I pooped today. God
yeah. If you're listening to the show, I'm going to bring back Grinder Dance Party. Not every week, but tonight the theme is going to be nasty, with an under theme of I pooped today. So it could be anything under the nasty theme. So
despite my indigestion, I did poop today.
Thanks, I appreciate that,
okay.
Eric.
Yes. He also sent us a meme of Ant-Man apparently bathing in barbecue sauce, as in reference to that whole Ant-Man trying to stick himself up Thanos' ass.
Why would he be bathing in barbecue sauce to stick himself up Thanos'
A
ass.
little bit.
Yeah, you should add like hot sauce to it. Like, want to make it horrible.
And lemon juice and salt.
Then again, he's so tiny, it wouldn't even matter at that point.
What if he like he went into Thanos' ass and like, you know how like in Ant-Man and the Wasp he was like just little, he wasn't like, you know, he'd like try to go back to normal size and he ended up being like just little. What if that happened and his head just ended up being stuck up Thanos' ass? It's just food for thought. I'm just saying.
You've thought way too much about this.
I think the entire concept of his suit is that can't happen.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying. Like, I mean, I'm just thinking. Like, what if he like got to the size of like, you know, like, I don't know, like maybe like a foot tall or something, and his head was like as big as like I don't know, like an apple or an orange or something, or like a grapefruit, and it like got stuck in Thanos' ass, like as he was trying to get in. Like, I don't know. Anyways, all right. He said that would be hilarious. All right. What do we got? Go ahead, break. What
okay, this one, and actually it comes from Bernie. She says a couple other ones that are just comments, but these are special. Mom 2's question of the week, and if you don't remember, she asked us about the marijuana versus pot.
Yeah, that was an easy one for me, and an easy one for Bray, because we both know where we fall on that spectrum. But all right,
question of the week: if it was a zombie apocalypse and you could only grab one backpack, what would you put in it and why?
Depends on how big that backpack is, but let's say it's a normal standard regulation like school backpack. Gosh, you could put a lot in that, man. I definitely some cans of food for sure. What else would you put in? Like a hammer? I'd put a hammer in there for sure. Water bottles, of course, as much water as you can.
You should take like a Swiss Army knife type tool, you know,
Leatherman.
which is going to have like screwdrivers and corkscrew and stuff like that you might need. Like a type switchblade to cut open an animal if you're going to live off the land, you know.
Yeah, you would definitely take like a Leatherman for sure. You know, something that you can do that with. A few knives. If you happen to have a gun, you know, a gun, obviously. I mean, I'm not 100% sure a gun would be the best weapon. I've discussed this before on Dead Men Talking. If you listen to the old archives of Dead Men Talking, we talked about this shit before. But a gun might not necessarily be the best weapon in a zombie apocalypse, believe it or not. So, but you would take one, obviously, in an emergency. You're not, you know, it would definitely help. What would you take, Eric?
I'd probably take the ability to talk with animals, because animals are good people and people are usually not good people.
So you would take your bag of holding, is what you're saying, Eric? Like you know, magical type shit. What about you, Break? What else would you take?
I'm confused as to what just happened.
What would you take, Break?
I would take as much valuable stuff as I could and run immediately to like the CDC or something, blackmail my way in. Or I mean, not bribe my way.
Oh wait, what was the question? I thought this was the other one that Freak had.
No, that's why I'm confused as what you were saying. Like, this question is: if it was a zombie apocalypse and you could only grab one backpack, what would you put in it and why? I would like.
I'd probably put a crowbar in there.
Yeah, crowbar is a great item to have in a zombie apocalypse. You could use that as a weapon. You could use it as a tool. Lots of uses for a crowbar. You could use it as a hammer. You could use it as a nail remover. Like there's so many uses for a crowbar.
Attach a flashlight to it.
Yeah, flashlight would definitely be nice. A solar USB charger would be nice. Freak 5. Water filter straws, he says. Rope ladder. 2 can openers. Yeah, shit like that would be great. Matches. Yeah, I mean those are.
I'm gonna get stuff to bribe. Like I'm gonna go someplace where I think I'm gonna be safer. You know,
you guys are gonna laugh.
I can bribe my way in and have others take care of me.
You guys are gonna laugh, but you know what else I would take? Alcohol and marijuana. You want to know why? Those would be good
for bribery.
No better thing for bribery than those two things, man.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's a good point.
Yeah. Marijuana and alcohol would definitely be 2 things I would definitely carry. Now I would probably smoke the marijuana, but the alcohol I would definitely.
I tried to drink the beer. We wouldn't get very far.
Well, we would. We'd get halfway, man. Like if we met up, we could survive because I'd smoke the marijuana. You would drink the beer. Actually, we'd be fucked, man. We'd be so fucked.
We'd be out hanging on the roads and shit when the zombies are coming towards us. Like, dude!
Yeah. Only difference is you'd be throwing up and I'd be A-okay. That's the only difference, man. So there's a bunch of things. I mean, a backpack is a big item, a big holding item that you could take a grip of shit. I think everything we've mentioned we could fit in one backpack. So, but obviously...
Oh, and extra underwear.
Extra, yeah. Mom always said take extra underwear. You know, in case you're in an accident. So there you go.
And socks too, because you can get really sick. You know.
Yeah.
Socks.
Obviously, change of clothes would be nice. Like a towel would be an interesting item to take. So, you don't experience the chills and shit like that. You know, dry up when you get wet and stuff. But
it's good.
You know, but alcohol would definitely be high on my list just for the simple fact of bribing. Like, alcohol would be in short supply, and people would love to have their hands on some alcohol and would do pretty much anything to be able to, waste their pain away with it, or weed. You know, weed.
I have a question. Where the hell do you buy a rope ladder?
At Army surplus stores.
They actually have those.
Yeah.
There?
Oh, dude, have you ever been in one?
No.
They have everything. MREs. Anything for survival you can find in an Army surplus store, man. They're really interesting to go in. I hardly ever buy anything from them. I mean, occasionally a hat or something, but. They have like a lot of knives, just survival gear. Any survivor gear that you can think of, man. They have there for sure. All right, what else we got? Break.
Okay. He says also as a nod to Tories versus Zombies, Gold Bond and clean socks. Yeah, like I said, socks though.
Yeah,
definitely socks. Okay. Dear Breakman, oh my god, it's a relationship question, yay!
Breakman finally got his relationship questions this week.
I'm wondering how to answer these.
I don't know how happy you are going to be after reading these, but, nonetheless.
Okay, let's go ahead with the first one. There's a few. At what point in a relationship is it okay to fart? And at what point in a relationship is it okay to shit with the door open? Those are her sister's questions.
All right, they're separate things, but go ahead, Break. I'll let you.
Now, let me see. It's always okay to shit with the door open. I mean, duh. What do you mean? When you fart?
I think we're gonna differ on this.
I think I got to fart right now.
How dare you? I don't want you to fart on air, son of a bitch.
I farted today. That'd be a hashtag.
Oh, dear Lord. Are we going to start that hashtag
my
now?
My honest advice would be like, never open the door when you're shitting.
Yes.
Only do that shit when you're alone.
Yes, absolutely. I totally
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah. And make sure to turn on the fan, too. You know, if you have a fan in your bathroom, make sure and turn that shit on. You know what I mean?
Women aren't allowed to fart in front of men. But we're allowed to fart in front of you.
No, okay. There's a simple answer to both of these questions. All right, the farting, like she's talking about, like in a relationship, like when you first get into a relationship, how long it like to fart. Right away, I say farting because that's how you know if you're gonna be in it for the long haul with your mate or not. You know what I mean? Like if you fart and it's a turnoff, then you already know that shit ain't gonna work, right? You fart and they stick around, either way, man or woman, then you know you got a keeper. Now, as far as shitting, you close that fucking door and you never open that fucking thing, whether you're a man or a woman, ever. You know, and nobody.
Yeah, what you should do with your fart too is you should go in the bathroom and pull them in there and lock the door when you.
Oh, the old Dutch oven. Oh yeah, for sure.
You should share with them. It's a shared experience.
Yeah, you know what? You never know you're gonna last unless you fart and that person doesn't die or pass out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure. I mean, you Dutch oven the shit out of that person right away. No, I mean, first night you're in bed, maybe you had a little, as Joe Bob Briggs would say, a little aardvarking, and then you Dutch oven the shit out of that person. Make sure that they can handle it. If they can't, then it was never meant to be. And if it does, then and he or she is a keeper. So that's my opinion. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, sounds really good to me.
Eric's like, fuck yeah, man.
He's just like, I don't want to be a part of this.
All right, what else you got, Break?
According to Freak, I don't actually think he's done with his fart story, so I won't start reading it then. I'll go back to Twitter. Let me see here. Next question. Dear Breakman, yay. In honor of my baby brother Nick's wedding today, if you had a choice on your big day, would you have a big wedding or small one with an expensive honeymoon? That one's easy. Expensive fucking honeymoon if I'm not paying for it. If I'm paying for it, I don't want either.
How about you just fucking don't get married? How about that, man? Like, that would be my advice, man. I had one marriage, it didn't work, so fuck it. Don't do it.
Expensive vacation, like a world trip, about a year-long honeymoon.
Yeah, take the honeymoon option for sure.
A month in the Cancun.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You don't even hesitate. You just take the long vacation. Because for one, how many chances do you get to like go on a really big expensive vacation, wherever that may be? You know, someone's vacation might be California or Vegas. Some other person's might be, you know, the Bahamas or Japan or Europe or something. You know, so you take that. You go with that. I mean,
and obviously you have to get others to pay for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would never ever pay for that shit. Fuck that, man. I mean,
and also weddings suck. So who wants a big wedding anyway?
I agree. I totally agree. I mean,
what's more boring than a wedding? There's terrible music. The food's usually terrible too. You have to try and talk to people over with loud music playing. You're like, how can you have a conversation in the first place? And then there are people line dancing, and then there's usually a bad DJ who thinks he's hilarious.
See, now if it was Grindr dance party, now that would be a different story. Like if I was not the DJ, because I don't consider myself a DJ, but if I was doing Grindr dance party, I mean, shit, go with the Grindr dance party. I mean, it's always a good time. Right after RPGrinders, 9 Eastern time standard, usually on this channel on Twitch or not YouTube, because I can't do it on YouTube, but on Twitch. You know, I mean, unless it's that, I would agree with you, Break, man. You fuck the DJs. I mean, the music usually does suck at weddings. It's always that sappy bullshit that usually the woman likes. You know, like, I don't know, just shitty pop music. And yeah, I agree with you, Break, man. What else you got, Break?
He finished his fart story.
Okay.
I'll read that real quick. He said he had a friend he met when he was in 8th grade, so around age of 13. For years, she told me that girls don't fart, and that she doesn't fart. One time, she told me that her sister had farted, and then she claimed her sister wasn't really a girl. When we were 20, we were roommates, and she farted in front of me. The look on her face was so fucking hilarious that she realized she farted in front of me. Yeah. Almost 30 years of friendship, that is the only time she farted in front of me.
Hey, that right there, that says that you guys were true friends to the end, my friend. So you know what I'm saying. You said me and Mrs. Freak went to New Orleans for our honeymoon. Ooh, that's a good one, man. Less than a month till our 14th anniversary.
That's one of those places I've always wanted to visit and I've never been.
I'd like to go too, man. We were gonna do WickedCon in New Orleans, and that would have been, God, that would have been wild, man. I mean, Vegas. Yeah,
I'm not as psyched for it as I was when I was like in 20 or something, because it was like, all
titties and beer,
and boobs and beads and stuff like that. But now it's like, now I'm older in a relationship, and that's just not as.
Well, I'm in a relationship, and I'd still like to go to fucking. I mean, you're gonna deny boobs, man? Seriously? I mean, that's your get.
No, I'm saying like there's no meeting.
Oh, I see.
Type stuff like that.
No, well, you never know, man.
There's just what? No, there's not.
No, you might
not
go.
Now.
No, you let's hear me out, man. You might go, and you take Mrs. Breakman with you, and Mrs. Breakman is just in awe of the situation, and maybe gets a little tipsy and is like, "Ooh, that chick looks pretty good. Let's go on over here." And you're playing it all wrong, man. Women usually can get the women, if you know what I'm saying, Breakman. You know what I'm saying? Like you go and like it's like if you were to take Mrs. Breakman to the strip club, I guarantee they wouldn't be paying attention to you, man. They'd be paying attention to her, which is in essence good for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I would be along with the money, so I'm just saying. Like,
well, I don't know, man.
I've seen the money trumps everything.
I guess so, man. I guess. All right, Eric.
Anyway, so back to Twitter, because Frank Branch has created.
Hold on. Before you get to the next question, let's let Eric chime in. If you had to get married, Eric, would you do the fancy wedding, or would you do the vacation, like the honeymoon?
The vacation, because fuck weddings.
Yeah, I agree, man. I totally agree. All right. Next.
Okay, so Dear Breakman, even though they didn't put it at the front, she put it at the end. But Dear Breakman, do you guys prefer a furgina or a vagina? Is it vagina?
Yeah, I think. Let me translate for you. This question is basically.
Well, let me finish the sentence and then translate. And is worth a girl getting her butthole bleached, or do guys even pay attention to that?
All right,
I wouldn't pay attention to something like that.
These are loaded questions. Okay, the first question is basically, do you like some womanscaping or just a full-on 70s bush thing going on? I prefer the womanscaping thing all the way. The less, the better for me. I don't know about you all, but that just...
I wouldn't know because I don't have experience with that kind of thing.
You can take a guess what you think would be better, Eric.
I like both.
You like both? Okay.
I'm kind of like, I don't really care either way.
Yeah, I kind of care.
When I was really young, like, it was like, I don't like hair at all. Like, that's gross and stuff.
I don't think I've ever grown.
I don't manscape, but I don't have really need to, so.
Yeah.
I did not need to know either of that.
I'm just saying, like the first part of that question is pretty easy for me. Like, you to take care of that stuff down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're a guy, like, a good advantage, like, for manscaping is your junk looks quite a bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, do what you gotta do.
I really wish we hadn't gotten into this conversation.
No, as far as the second, Breakman, you go first on the bleaching the butthole thing.
I've heard of that before, but I've never met a girl who bleaches her butthole, so I actually would say no to that.
This is interesting.
Unless it cleans it, and then I think you should do that because your buttholes are nasty.
Yeah, I see. Now here's the thing.
You should bleach your asshole for my enjoyment.
If you're a big ass eater, like there's people out there. I've never been one to, like, toss the salad all that much, but yeah, bleaching the butthole would definitely be beneficial in that capacity. Plus,
honestly, I've never seen anybody who's done that before.
Oh, I've seen.
Apparently, Frank likes to do that kind of thing.
I've seen quite a people do that, Breakman. I'm just saying, I have a lot of experience, and I don't know. It's interesting.
All right, you have a lot of experience bleaching your asshole.
Not my asshole, you son of a bitch. Other women. You son of a bitch. Don't twist my words, damn it. It's for women. I think it's okay. For men, like, really, does it really matter? Unless you have a freaky woman that just loves eating ass, then go for it. Get your asshole bleached. But women look.
But what if you're darker skinned or something? Like, wouldn't that lighten your skin? You probably don't want to do that.
No, it's a specific process that's just for the bung, dude, and it makes a big difference, man. This is a weird question, man. I hope nobody's listening. I think they're in the wedding right now, but I hope nobody's listening right now. It's so
so this isn't like, because when I think of bleach, like, I think of anytime I've got bleach on one of my shirts, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I can't wear that shirt in public.
No, there's a specific procedure for it, man. Like, a lot of porn stars do it. If you've seen a lot of porn, I mean, yeah. So
okay, let me rephrase that then. I've never seen it in person.
Yeah, I've seen it in person and in porn. So it makes a difference if you're eating ass. If you're not eating ass, then nobody gives a shit, really. I mean, seriously. I mean, even if you're doing anal, it doesn't really fucking matter. Like, that second question is pretty easy too, but just for the bung, 5 cents. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Hey, apparently Frank is a sicko. He wants women to look like prepubescent girls.
No, look, there's a definite difference. A woman, a grown-ass woman, when you see a grown-ass woman, Freak 5, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And to me, a landing strip or nothing is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not big on bushes, man. Seriously, I don't like the 70s bush look.
Presidents or pubic hair.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not into that. The whole, whole,
you didn't get it, did you?
Legend of Zelda Bush type thing.
No, the bushes.
Yeah,
President Bush.
I got you, man. It was just a bad joke. break. That's all I'm saying. You know, but no. So
Okay,
I hope we
fine.
answered. What about you, Eric? So the bong thing doesn't really resonate with you. Like either way, you're not interested in any of that. Huh?
I'm not a big butt person. No.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. All right. Anything else, break?
I quite love the butt.
I mean, I like I'd like the idea of just like holding on to their love handles, but like outside of that, not really.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna move on now. After tonight's RPGrinders, make sure you stick around on Twitch.tv for a special edition of our Grinder Dance Party. Just re-announcing it because it's here. And then Bernie says she's gonna miss it because she's at the wedding, of course.
Yeah.
Play a good wedding reception song for Nikki Babes.
Yeah, I'll try to. Depends on if they're listening. If they're not listening, man, I mean, the theme is nasty. Excuse me, nasty. So I don't know how nasty we can be. I got one song in particular I could probably play and get away with, but you know, I'd have to justify it and all that type of shit. I don't know if they're gonna be listening. So if they're listening, I'll play something for them. If not, it's all gonna
listening. They're not now.
I mean, yeah, if they're listening.
if they were, they've definitely turned.
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
Like, no,
By now, so would Toxics be considered a nasty song?
Yes, anything under the nasty umbrella, man. Because I mean, the original theme that Freak
Too
Fight.
Short's entire soundtrack. Or
Nah, that would be fine. That would definitely be fine.
everything he's ever done.
I mean, there's
every terrible song that Tom Green did back during the Tom Green show.
I mean, there's one song in particular I'm gonna play that I thought
Any
of.
South Park song too.
I mean, the song I'm gonna play is called "Evil Dick." So if that gives you any indication.
Dick, huh?
Yeah, "Evil Dick," man. It's a good song. It's a good song. All right. Anything else, break?
Yes, I am not done. There is actually a lot on Twitter today. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of feel like we've blown my Twitter wad though. There's not going to be anything for a while after this, but it's fine.
We'll take it.
I love this. Freak says he has a story tonight that he was going to share with me about one of my favorite subjects. Oh, one of Breakman's favorite topics, he says. And this is the last one, but I think it's a great way to end it because we haven't done one of these in a long time. Would you rather?
Mm.
And this one is from Freak, and it isn't. It's not the normal kind. It's actually a pretty really tame one. So he said, "Would you rather be fluent in all languages or be able to speak to and understand animals?" And he said, "Assume the following: you would be fluent in all modern spoken human languages, and you would be able to selectively choose when to speak and understand animals and when not to."
Ooh, that's a good question.
As somebody who owns pets, that's an easy one for me. It'd have to be animals.
For me, it'd be. Oh man, this is a tough choice. I'll let Eric.
Yeah,
answer
if I
first.
didn't own pets, it would be a tough choice. But since I have pets, it's not.
Eric, what would you say?
What was the question again?
Would you rather speak all?
Oh yeah, this is the one I answered a while ago. That's why. Yeah, I think I already gave you my answer to that. I'd rather talk to animals because people suck, and I'd rather talk with animals.
See, that's the reason that I would pick people, Eric, because I don't think people suck in general. I'd rather learn all human languages, like modern human languages, because then like when I go to a different country and stuff, I'll just be like, I want this and that and the other. There'd be no language barrier. You wouldn't have to worry.
Yeah, I just learned the hard way. That's all.
Well, you could just go anywhere, and just like do anything. Like if you wanted to become a resident of Japan, you could with no issue.
But I could then I could become a really good vet because animals could tell me what they need.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess if you were I would hate to get in that field. So
it'd be easy to get a job either way because a vet or working a zoo or something like that, or if you spoke any language, you could work as a translator for any country.
Oh man, can you imagine how demand you would be like as an airport translator or something? Like you would be the most in-demand translator on the planet if you knew every single modern language, man. You could go to like the fucking Amazon and speak to Aborigines and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally like change the world that way. It would be interesting.
Yep.
That would be me. I would take the human option as tempting as the animal thing would be. Like, can you imagine though, like running into a bear in the wilderness, and like you bear language, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then he's like running after you, and then like you're like, what can you do? You're not gonna negotiate with the fucking bear.
I know, you're like, please don't eat me, please don't eat me.
No, don't eat me.
Your lunch.
Can you imagine that? And then the bear's like turns his head and he's like, you can speak bear? And you're like, fuck yeah, I can speak bear, man. What do you want to know? And then he'd be like, why are people such dicks? And he'd be like, I know, right? It's so fucking weird. And then he just proceeds to whip your ass and kill you.
I know.
You know, but
it mauls you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think we're good on that. Anything else?
Yep.
Break?
No, that's it.
Wow, what a great Twitter segment we had this week. That was
Yes.
highly unusual. So yeah, kudos to everybody who sent in. Appreciate that very, very much. Let's move on to
Inquiring minds want to know.
Eric. Inquiring minds definitely want to know what you've been playing this week.
I played more London Detective Mysteria. Slowly getting through that because I don't have time for it fully, but eventually soon. But played through some more of Sekiro. I'm near the end of the game, but I've decided to put it away for now because I've got a lot of other stuff I need to get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you watched me play a couple days.
I did, man, and it was. I got an opinion on
with
Sekiro.
my shitty resolution that I had to use otherwise.
Yeah, it was, but I don't care, man, because I had to do shitty resolution on my end because of fucking data cap limits and shit like that. But it was interesting. Anyways, continue. We'll talk more about it.
Nelke and the Legendary Alchemist. Played a little bit more of that. I'm gonna write a review for it hopefully this weekend. I didn't get to it today because I called in sick at work because I was having digestion problems. But otherwise, I played a little bit of Earth Defense Force Iron Rain, which is the newest Earth Defense Force game. It's weird. I've never played Insect Armageddon, but I think this is more close to it. But that one was a Western developer. This one is a Japanese developer, and it's not the original developer.
Can you play as like any insect?
No. I think the conceit of this game is you can play as the standard classes like normal, like you could like the jetpack character, and then the ranger, the all-purpose character that's a foot soldier, and then you could play as the lancer and then the aerator. Yeah. But I think there's a new class that lets you control the monsters.
See, I want to play an insect game like that, but where you could play, like they had an old Wii game that I can't remember the name of it, but you could play as like a spider or a fucking scorpion and shit. I want to be able to play like any insect.
But there's a couple other new things. Like there's a dash mechanic now, and there's also this thing called the overdrive, which just superpowers your character, and they can just go to town with it.
All right. What else you been playing, man? Anything else?
I played Castlevania The Card Chronicles 2, which is a fan game, which is a sequel to the Card Chronicles. But unlike the first game, which plays more like a traditional Castlevania, this one plays more like Metroidvania, Symphony Night style, but it's much like the Card Chronicles. It is way harder than it needs to be.
Yeah,
and it's a fan game, so it's kind of stiff in areas.
Yeah, I want to talk about chat real quick. Freak Five's talking about squirrels. Fuck squirrels, man. There's
that was the story he wanted to tell me. So let me go ahead and read it.
Yeah, go for it.
Last night he came home from work. One of his cats was on his neighbor's porch. When he got out of his car and started walking to his house, his cat ran to meet him on his porch. She disturbed a squirrel on the neighbor's porch that was close to our home. It jumped into a tree, and when I got up to the porch, it was chattering at me, and mean mugging me, like it wanted to start a fight. After I went inside, I came back out later, and it was still in the tree and started chattering at me.
You know what? Fuck squirrels. I can't stand squirrels, man. That's one animal that I just have no love for. I think I'd be A-okay in a zombie apocalypse. I'd just shoot the shit out of some fucking squirrels, man. I really would, man. I can't stand squirrels.
Strangely enough, the bull that I fought in the stream was a lot easier than the first full.
Yeah, well, because you had practice, Eric. But yeah. Also, you didn't read this comment, Break. Freak5 said if Break could talk to his pets, they would ask him, "Why do you masturbate so much?"
Actually, I wasn't done. I was kind of interrupted because there was actually more to the story. He said he thought about it today. I think he's pissed because our bird feeder broke and we haven't replaced it yet. so he's pissed that he can't eat the bird food.
He's pissed that he can't steal.
Squirrels are assholes.
Yeah, they are. Squirrels are assholes. That's the moral of the fucking story. I mean, the end of story, I guess. But Dungeon says it was all good, Eric, but that bull didn't know what hit him. So yeah, some good Sekiro playing for sure.
About it. Al kicked my ass. I watched a video online that says that it claims you can cheese Al, but like, I'm sure it's still a matter of knowing when to dodge them and then just using the Mortal Blade to like basically get free hit HP damage. But you can only really use that when he's open because he'll just slash at you if you keep going off it.
Almost any enemy in Sekiro is a fucking beast, man. Like sometimes I saw you have a hard time with just a regular fucking, regular old layman dude. It's crazy fucking game. Dungeon says I have an EDF game here somewhere for the Xbox 360. It's so weird but so fun. And there you go. I think Frank means a PS1 game, Spider. No, not Spider. I know of that game. There's a Wii game where you could play as a spider or...
Al's probably peanuts compared to the Demon of Hatred, though. I'm not looking forward to fighting that guy.
You beat one boss that I was like, how in the fucking world did you beat that boss? It was that big-ass tree boss, the dragon tree. God damn, that thing...
that was the gimmick fight that reminds me a lot of the Dragon Lord from Demon Souls. The only difference is you don't have to hide from it constantly.
Yeah. No, Freak5, I was not talking about the PS1 game. I do know of that game. I'm talking about a Wii game where you play as either a spider or a scorpion. And I want a game where you can play as any insect, like a ladybug or a spider or a scorpion or, like a fucking bullet ant or shit like that. That would be fucking cool. And then, like, if you transferred into one of those, like, let's say you just, like, transferred into one of those bugs, like, you had all the powers of that bug. Like, if you were an ant, you had, like, super strength. If you were a spider, you had, like, wicked jumping ability and... wicked senses and stuff like that. Would be fucking cool. Oh, Mr. Mosquito was great too. Dungeon. I played Mr. Mosquito. That was a fun ass game. It was hard. Really
too bad
hard.
The sound of PS4, PS2 classics.
Yeah. No, Mosquito was a great PS2 game, man. That was a great
I need
game.
to play Spider and Mr. Mosquito at some point.
No, what the hell game am I talking about? I know it's a Wii game. You play as either a spider or a scorpion. You have your choice, spider or scorpion, and then if you're a spider, you have the ability, like, you could fucking crawl on anything, man. I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
Insector X.
Yeah, Sector X, yeah. No, but I did play Mosquito. Mosquito was a great fucking game, man. If I remember correctly, it had a pretty good soundtrack.
There's two of them, too. But like I think only the first one got localized.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first one was really good, Mr. Mosquito. It was I remember correctly, the soundtrack was really good on it. But man, I'm gonna try to look up that game. All right, Breakman, what you been playing, man? Or did we already go to you?
Just the Borderlands pre-sequel. I haven't gotten very far in it. I didn't have much time to game this week, so
yeah. All right.
It's still fun. Now I'm working for Jack, the guy that we killed in the sequel that came before it. Huh?
Oh, I know the name of that game now. It's called Deadly Creatures. It's a great fucking game. Deadly Creatures, man. I wish they would redo that game, man. That was a wicked game. It was fun. It was hard, but fun.
It sounds like the kind of game that would have been made by like Cabela or something.
And Freak5 is exiled. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. All right, I've been playing a little bit of Marvel Puzzle Quest. I played Final Fantasy IX for a bit. I'm in Lindblom. I've done some stuff in Lindblom, so I think that's about a quarter of the way through the game, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time since I played.
That sounds like you got stuff in your mouth.
Lindblom?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like on disc 2.
Yeah.
Like the very beginning of disc 2.
Yeah. So that's why I said I'm like about a quarter of the way through. So, Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Final Fantasy IX is, I believe, the most underrated Final Fantasy game. I think it's better than. It's definitely better than 8. I think it's better than 7. Like much better than 7. It's up there with 6. 6 is the greatest Final Fantasy game of all time.
That reminds me, Dungeon Buster. I need to get the Cosmic Collection for the Switch.
Yeah. I think 9's better than 10, and I love 10. 10's a great game. Vivi for the win for sure, Dungeon. Vivi's a great character. 9 is a great game. Break.
Yeah, Break. You got an Xbox One. Go get 9.
Yeah, I mean, get it. I mean, it's been down to like $12. You can pick it up for like $12, man.
The problem is, like, $12. Like, that's still an old game. Like,
it's worth it.
Wait, it's $12 on the Xbox One now.
I believe it is $12 on the Xbox.
So I think it's normally like, isn't it normally $16?
Yeah, it's normally like it's normally like 20. It's normally like $20.
Oh wait, I was thinking of Final Fantasy VII. Sorry.
Yeah. Freak 5 says 4 is the greatest Final Fantasy. That is not true. 4 is good, but 6 is definitely better. 9 is as good as 6.
There's a lot of things I could say that are wrong about 4.
My biggest problem with 4 is the narrative speaking. And narratively speaking, they don't reveal the villain until like the very, very end of the game. Like the guy you're supposed to believe is the villain turns out to be
that's not my problem with 4 though. My problem with 4 is that there's a rotating wheel of characters, and some of the characters you get aren't that useful. And and the other issue would be is that everybody in the game's narrative nearly everybody in the game's narrative is suicidal. It's like, why? This is terrible writing. You want to get rid of a character, you want to kill them off. Okay. Whatever.
Well, I mean, just look at what they do with The Walking Dead, man. I mean, it's pretty much The Walking Dead, but I don't know. I like 4 a lot. 4, 5, and 6 are great games, man. 6 is the pinnacle of those games, in my opinion. It's not even fucking close. But 4's up there. 4 is a great game. I don't want to take anything away from 4. We've talked about this before. 6 is great. 7.
Spoonie Bard. Fuck you, Edward.
Yeah.
Spoonie Bard, just a Final Fantasy 2 translation fuck up. But
yeah,
it doesn't exist in the other versions.
I bet Edward's last name was Colin.
It was the translator was trying to say like "fuck the fucking Bard" or something like that, but I couldn't, so he had to think of something like, I don't know, how can I insult him?
Call him Edward.
Spoonie.
Spoonie. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, 6 is great. 7 is, in my opinion, overrated. I know it was an important game and all.
Edward was also called Gilbert in the Japanese version. Yeah. FYI.
Fuck you, Gilbert.
Yeah, fuck you, Gilbert.
Fuck 8, you, Gilbert Grape.
8 is a pretty good game. I like 8 quite a bit, probably more than most people. 9 is a fantastic game. 9 is, I cannot deny. 9 is probably.
I'm wondering when 8 will get an HD port, because or just a port, but because they lost that source code, so it won't happen until they rebuild it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think it's worth going to 8. I don't think the interest is in there in 8. Now, if they did 9, if they redid 9, I'd be all over it, man. I really would.
I think if they redid 8 and they fixed the problems that I had with it, I would give it another try. You know,
I like 8. Like I said, it's kind of underrated, but I don't think the interest would be there for that. Of course, maybe the interest isn't there for 9 either, but you know, what can you do? It's a good game, man. They're all good games. I mean, they're good games in their own right. I mean, until we get to Final Fantasy 13, which in my opinion was a debacle, but you know, that's just my opinion. But
Freak says 4 is the only one he goes back and plays every couple of years. I say that as far as like remakes, like 4 got the best remake out of any one of them.
Yeah, that's true. 4.
I wish 5 and 6 would get remakes. Like
I
that,
do too.
With voice acting and it just. I don't understand why they don't get that love.
If 6 got a remake, man, that would blow everybody out of the water. Like, what if they did 6 3D? That would be crazy.
Yeah, like that's with voice acting and just an updated story. That would make us all very happy.
Oh man, if they gave 6 the 7 treatment, are you
And
kidding?
again,
me?
I don't trust Square to make a Final Fantasy
Yeah.
or
Well,
remake a Final.
But they did a great job with the Final Fantasy IV remake.
Yeah, they did a pretty. And they
Yeah,
did,
but
if they did
Square
a
was
6 remake,
Square still cared about RPGs then, though. They don't really care about it now.
Yeah.
Like I'm dreading 7 will somehow be worse and better than 7 at the same time.
Yeah. I think what they did visually with 9 is pretty good. I mean, they didn't do much to 9, but I like what they did visually. So, you know, I mean, I see a world of possibilities. 4 through 9. They could really do a lot. 10 is not going to be much of an upgrade because they already had a really good remaster on the PS4 and Xbox. So, you know, it's not going to be at, like, if they were to redo 10, which they could.
Oh yeah,
I could see them doing
10.10.2 comes out next week.
Yeah, I could see them doing that, but
for the Xbox
and the Switch.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, let's move on to reviews. Eric, I want to kind of chime in on your review here. So Break, did you have a review first?
No.
Okay. Eric, go ahead with your review.
Okay, I played enough of Sekiro to give it a review. So Sekiro is From Software's latest game that is from the director Miyazaki, Hidetaka Miyazaki, who's done the Soul games, and I could complain that like that's all From Software does now. But it is a departure from the Soul series because it is not a Souls game. I mean, it's got a lot of the same DNA, if you will, or backbone or spine or whatever from the Souls games, and there are some references, like I mentioned that the fight with the Divine Dragon is basically just the dragon god that you fight in Demon Souls, but where you have to do a gimmick of using special weapons. In this case, you just do a lightning reversal and you kill him that way, but instead of just doing a normal fight. But they've stripped away the ability to level up, leveling up your stats. Instead, you get skills, and some of these skills are passives, and some of these skills offer you different combat options, and other ones are called combat arts, which you have to equip separately, and you can use those one at a time. But like, they've changed other things, like you can actually pause the game now, so it's more worth it to just equip 2 to 3 items to cycle between, and then just if you need to like pop another item to like buff yourself, you might as well just go into the menu and use it there. But there's still stuff like the Estus flask. It's called the Gourd Seed in this game though. But
yeah,
it's all based on Sengoku era Japan.
Yeah,
like early Sengoku era Japan.
It looks great. I mean, I know I was looking at it. I was watching. I didn't play it, but I was watching.
I don't have a PS4 Pro, so I can't have it perform better. But
yeah.
Even on consoles, they couldn't figure out a way to make the game run at 60. So even if you have an Xbox One X or PS4 Pro, it's still going to run at 30 for most people. But you need a PC and a good PC to play that game at 60.
Yeah, that's a shame.
What sucks, because for a game that's all about learning how to deflect, it would have benefited from being able to play on 60 on a console.
I noticed that, Eric. That was one observation I was going to make. I watched you extensively a couple nights, and I've seen plenty of video on it. I watched Rad Brad play a good chunk of the game, and because I'm not going to buy it anytime soon. I still got to run through Bloodborne and what's the other game? Dark Souls 2 and stuff like that. So I got ground to gain in order to be able to deem myself worthy of playing Sekiro. But I noticed that it not so much that it was glitchy, although there was a little bit of that. But they're like the
you could totally cheese mini bosses by luring you into too far into the outside of their zone, like where it's the point where they'll move to the point where like their AI just gets messed up and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you could just kill them that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, I killed a general last night. I said I was going to put it away last night, but I decided just to play some more because I wanted to grind out a few levels and stuff.
Yeah.
But I decided to get the last two beads that you need to get your health. So it's kind of like Zelda in a way, because like you get 4 things, you get extra health.
Yeah.
You kill certain bosses, you can raise your attack power, so you can still kind of level up. I kind of wish there was a way to raise your defense, like beyond what you could do with the prayer beads, because that's one of the things that prayer bead does. It gives you more HP and it gives you higher defense. But
yeah, I think you just need to get good, Eric. I mean, that's no. You did fine, man. Like it was surprising seeing you going up against some of these bosses, and
like other things that like the Souls games have that have always been awful have been like the camera, and just like certain like boss glitchiness, like where in this game they seem to do a much better job of having bosses having their weapons be able to clip and then hit you, but you not being able to do that either.
I did notice that. That was one thing I was going to comment on. Like, I remember at one point in the game, Eric, you were clearly behind a wall, and the guy just hit you out of nowhere, and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? This guy doesn't. I mean, he's behind the wall. How does his, sword get through the fucking wall? But and then the other thing Dungeon brought up in chat that I was gonna
like, I used to love in Bloodborne being able to do that to people, but I couldn't do that here.
Yeah, Dungeon brought up a good point too. The camera sometimes is a little bit wonky, and I did notice that, but it wasn't so much that it was super aggravating. But in a game like Sekiro, like, you'd expect that camera to always be on point, because if that camera is not working, you're not working, and you're gonna die really fucking quick.
The thing I like the most about Sekiro is that it lets me do stealth kills. Like, it basically encourages it to, because like even normal encounters could be hazardous.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not good at defending against that type of enemy.
Yeah. Dungeon says it's not bad, but it can be frustrating. I could see that. Like, that's
and it's almost kind of a rhythm game in a way, because like you have to figure out the rhythm of an enemy's attacks, and like, and usually you can use the sound and the flash of a weapon's attack to be able to counter properly.
Yeah. And see, that's where the frame rate comes in. That game should have... they really should have worked on the frame rate. Maybe drop the graphical prowess. So the game looks beautiful. I mean, I saw it in low res, and it still looks
Or at
great.
least design the game in such a way that it works the same on all platforms.
Yeah, I think so. But
and if they were going to go for like a 60F on PC, they should have gone that for the consoles. And if they couldn't do that on consoles, they shouldn't have. They should have capped the frame rate for PC players.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should have been the same experience all the way
and
around.
it's one and the game should have benefited from like an easy mode. They didn't design it that way, but they definitely should have.
Yeah, I agree with you, Eric. But I mean, I guess the key to that game is not only get good, but which, I mean, all the Soulsborne games are that way in a sense, but in that game in particular, they really should have given you a choice of easy, normal.
The one advantage to having the game be heavily blocking, parrying based is that they widen the parry window by quite a bit. Like Bloodborne already opened it up to make it easier with your gun.
I like it.
I've been able to parry good in like Dark Souls.
Yeah, see.
So the fact that I could do it much more easily in Sekiro is nice.
You know what Sekiro reminds me of in a way, Eric, is the rhythm of a fighting game. You know, how you're playing a fighting game and you're blocking and then trying to get your hits in real quick and then blocking again, and there's a certain way of using your controller to go back. And in this case, it's a matter of parrying, and hitting all the right parries at the right time. Sort of reminds me.
Also, yeah, like a Dungeon Buster said, like you can run. So like running strafing around your enemy is something you can do.
Yeah, it sort of reminded me of the Daigo game where he was, the beast where he just hit those fucking blocks perfectly every fucking time on Chun-Li and then whipped ass. I mean, that's kind of the same rhythm that you're thinking of when you play Sekiro, from what I gather, is like, you're trying to parry perfectly every fucking time, and not everybody is that fucking good, and you have to do things like what Dungeon says. You have to run, you have to use your healing and stuff like that. But if you're
and like there's more than one way to take out a boss, and usually sometimes like it's a better way, because like sometimes their posture defense is too high, and so you might want to chip away at their HP instead.
Yeah, if you're
Just
good,
the lower their HP is, the slower and faster their posture gate raises.
Yeah, if you have really good dexterity, you're gonna do good at Sekiro. If you don't, like me, it's gonna be a grind, and I know that going into that game. And as long as I know that going into a game, it's all good. All right, so what do you give?
So in other words, old man hands not apply.
How dare you, you son of a bitch! How dare you? You're
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's worthy, man. It's a worthy game. It's not I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece in the sense of Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne is one of the greatest games of all time, if not the greatest game of all time. But it's up there in the pantheon of great games. So
I gave that a 9.5 just because like there was a few things I didn't like about it.
Yeah, I from my playing of Bloodborne, I think it's a perfect game, and there's certain games like that even though they have their quote-unquote flaws, like Pac-Man has flaws, but it's, to me, a perfect game. Same thing with Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a fucking opus of a game. Like, story, action, horror, like, it's a perfect storm of elements. Cthulhu mythos. It's got everything I want in a video game. I always talk about horror RPGs, and that's the closest thing that I've ever seen to a really, really solid good one. So that sounds like a fair score. Real quick review from me for Possession of Hannah Grace. I'm going to say I would recommend watching this movie, not as a possession movie, even though it is. Who's on the mic doing weird shit with the mic?
Break,
what are you doing, son of a bitch?
It's his cat.
Blame the cat. Don't blame the cat. Just blame Break. If you go into that movie thinking it's going to be just a pure possession movie, you're going to be disappointed. If you go in it thinking it's going to be a good monster movie, it's pretty damn good. I give it a 7 out of 10.
That reminds me, I kind of want to see Hellboy, but I'm not going to see it until after I've seen Avengers.
Oh, speaking of Hellboy,
if it's still in the theater at that point, then it's probably deserving of viewing.
I'm going to see it in the theater because I got a free ticket from Geek Vibe Nation. The guys over at Geek Vibe Nation gave me a free ticket.
Well, I want to see Penguin Highway tomorrow, and it's all I can really see until Friday.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going to go see it on Saturday. I'll have a review of that next week. And I also got a free hat that I may give away on the show. I don't know what the interest level is on a Hellboy hat is, but we'll see. I'll see the quality of it when I get it, and see if it's worthy. But yeah, next week.
If it has those huge ass horns, that might be cool.
No horns, but it does have a pretty cool logo. And
did anybody watch that Daniel Radcliffe movie called Horns?
I saw part of it, and what I saw I liked. So take that for whatever. I didn't see the whole thing. Dungeon said. Or Freak 5 said Hellboy might be a rental. I'll let you know, Freak 5. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. I'm going to wait until that is on Netflix. Because as Dungeon Buster said, he was going to go see Hellboy, and then he saw how it was reviewed. The last time I saw a movie with a low score, I should have listened to the low score.
Yeah.
Is there anything coming out in May?
Yes. And I can't...
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. That's June or July.
No, there's something else coming in May that's pretty big, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But
yeah, but Spider-Man isn't until the summer.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not until July, I believe. But yeah.
Yeah, they want some space between that and Endgame, because Endgame is going to be it might be the biggest movie.
They'll be there for like a month and a half.
Endgame is going to be
right now. It might be the biggest movie release of all time.
It could be. I'm predicting that it will be. Just based on what I mean, people are already buying tickets and droves.
It's gonna be Like 4 hours?
3
Really?
hours, 38 minutes.
Hours.
Yeah,
like
3
I
hours,
need a
38.
bathroom break. Like the Russo brothers said, no, there's gonna be no breaks, and there's gonna be no places in this movie where you could stop and go take a bathroom break.
I really wish they would.
So in other words, it's gonna be...
That means if I bring candy to the theater, I eat the candy, but I don't get a drink.
Oh,
this means it's a movie you're gonna have to probably go see like a couple times to see everything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a bathroom break for a 3 hour.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna see it twice at least.
Why can't the theater do an intermission?
I know. Like, why can't they say there's gonna be a 5-minute intermission so you can go pee and then bring it back? I mean, nobody would have a problem with that at all. I mean,
there was an intermission for the cabin area of the Iron Fortress because it was effectively 2 films that you were watching back to back.
Yeah. Dungeon says Detective Pikachu's in May and the new John Wick, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, so I'm going to see Detective Pikachu and John Wick.
I'm definitely seeing John Wick 3, man. John Wick, I haven't been excited to see an action movie in a long time as I am for John Wick, man. Those movies are fucking fantastic. They're just so off the wall great.
Yeah,
I love
who cares about a dog's journey?
Yeah. If you're not scared off Aladdin.
Freak's like, I wanted to see Dog's Journey.
Yeah.
Oh, Godzilla King of the Monsters into the May.
What? Jesus Christ.
So watch the shit in May, too.
God, I got to save my money for May, man, because there's lots of shit.
I don't want to see Brightburn, but I'm not so sure.
Well, Brightburn...
I definitely want to see Godzilla.
Brightburn is a Netflix movie, isn't it? Or is it coming out at theater?
I think it's an actual theater movie.
Yeah. Aladdin is also coming out in May. I'm not excited to see Aladdin.
Yeah, I'm gonna Netflix Aladdin.
Disney.
They'll probably throw it up on there before Disney Plus happens. So
yeah, maybe. No, the last movie was Ant-Man and the Wasp on Netflix.
Okay, so I'll just
Disney
Redbox it then.
Yeah, or Redbox it. Yeah, that's for sure. New Lion Train.
Disney Plus when that happens and you can watch it there.
Yeah, it's going to be $7 a month, which is actually, I think, a fair price. Dungeon says the new Lion King trailer is wild. It does look good. I'm not a big Lion King fan. I never have been. But the live-action one does have me interested, so I'll probably...
Yeah, there already was the evil Superman, though. It's called Injustice.
Yeah, yeah, Injustice. But I know, it looks good. Brightburn does look good. I'm down for that. So that's our reviews. No, does anybody have a Heiscapade this week? All right, Eric, you have a Heiscapade by chance?
It's more like Psycho Superman than Evil Superman, though. But
yeah. All right, let's move on to Stinkos then.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, let's start with you. I think you might have the same one as Eric. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
well, no, because I knew that was going to come as a topic. Mine goes to the car repairs and expensive things that got to be done.
Damn it! Yeah. That sucks, man. You had car trouble?
I'm gonna say Lion King's the Stinko. That looks so pedestrian.
No, I
haven't had trouble yet. I'm heading off to make sure I don't have trouble.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I need to replace is a timing belt.
Yeah. Dungeon says Frank is looking forward to Dora and the Lost City of Gold in August. You goddamn right I am, man.
Yeah. I'd probably watch that just because it's not the Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, I'll watch that shit, man. Hell yeah, I'm down for Dora. Dude, Dungeon, I mean, look, anything Hispanic, man, I gotta watch that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I mean, I gotta support the race with that one, man. So I'm down for Dora, man. Totally down. All right, Breakman, I'm sorry, cut you off.
What were we talking about?
Stinkos.
Freak 5 point about Superman. Like, if Superman was set in a more recent time, the Kents would have to pretend to be anti-vaxxers because they, couldn't give him anything.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be actually really funny. I'd be on the internet mocking them and stuff like that and saying how horrible their parents, and meanwhile he's out saving people's lives and shit. I'm sorry, Kens. My bad. Yeah.
A new Terminator movie, really? Yeah. What?
How dare you, Freak 5, you son of a bitch! I never thought of Dora in that way.
What's this Terminator movie called?
Dark Fate. and I'm interested. I'm down.
So this is the one with Sarah Connor
Yes,
and
yes, I'm
those
down.
other 2 women.
Yes, totally down. Want to see it? I'm good.
That's
I'm
one
in.
I want to see.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Brakeman,
The
let's...
Ladies Kick Ass
Eric.
3.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Eric, let Brakeman go with this stinko. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I'm done. It's just that I'm trying to head off problems before they happen, and it's just expensive.
Yeah.
There are other like stinkos I could talk about, like a basketball coach leaving, and of course Ohio law and stuff. But we're running out of time, and Eric wants to get into that Ohio law anyway.
Takes place after Terminator 2 and ignores the other movies. Yeah, I'm down for it, Dungeon. All right.
Can we pretend that it's the true sequel?
Yeah, exactly.
Only if it's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
I mean, there's always a chance it comes out and it's crap. So we only if it's good we can just pretend otherwise.
But this is Cameron, so it should be okay.
Yeah,
right?
it should be fine. Should be fine. All right.
He did a good enough job with Alita. So
yeah. Eric, we gotta move on here, man. You're stinko, bud. Let's go.
Stinko is the mayor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, who thanks Ohio for voting for this fucker because the House bill, let's see, the heartbeat bill, I forget what the number was, Senate Bill 23, it says right here. Human Rights Protection Act is what it's called now. It's outlawing abortion as early as 5 or 6 weeks of prison. Guess what they did? They passed it.
Unbelievable, Eric. It's 2019, and people are still worried about other women's bodies. It's fucking crazy what's going on in Ohio. I don't know what the repercussions are federally.
So of course, a Republican-led General Assembly was going to vote on it. But for the House to go along with it, did you even look at what you were looking at?
Are people pissed there, like, generally? Because I would think that at least the cities would be generally...
I'm pretty sure people are suing them now.
Oh, good. They should be sued, man. I mean, we have Roe v. Wade. It's pretty settled. Federally, it's... You know,
this is one of my biggest problems with it, besides the whole absurd this law is in the first place.
You need more than
Hold on, Eric.
You need more than 20 weeks.
Eric, let Brakeman finish.
To me, this is because he has said that he is going to follow federal law. And federal law is that it is okay. So, to me, he is doing this as his political view that abortion is wrong, and he is using the entire state of Ohio to wage his political views. I mean, to support his political views, but what it's going to do is it's going to cost us a lot.
If he's saying that,
hold on, Eric.
He's
hold on, Eric.
That we're stupid
because we
don't know the law.
Eric, let Brakeman finish, bud. Let him finish.
It's going to cost us a lot of money in the courts. It's going to get struck down because it's the federal law. That's not going to change.
And women are going to die if it somehow passes all through that.
Either that or it's going to
die, and it's going to... It'll be like the war on drugs. It's going to send abortion doctors underground and stuff. It's going to turn like average, everyday citizens into criminals.
Either that, or
not only that, but it's going to make abortion much more unsafe.
That's what I'm saying. Because they're doing it underground. Yeah, it'll be unsafe.
They won't have the equipment and the technology to make it, safe.
Either that, or it's going to drive a lot of money out of the states into other state surroundings pockets. I think that's going to be the major.
Unless you're like a really good thief at stealing tech or something. But
that's another great point, Frank. This is going to hurt this state financially.
Yeah.
Not only is this an absurd law where this little prick of a man, this bigoted little shit, telling what women they should do with telling women what they have to do with their bodies.
You know what's really absurdly weird about Republicans, guys? I find it at the height of hypocrisy that they are very pro-life when it comes to telling women what to do with their body, but yet they support the death penalty.
But not only that, like they support war and killing and stuff like that and guns.
And no other like pro-life like forward-thinking idea like universal health care or child rights or financial aid of any kind.
Yeah.
And Freak says no. The point is to bring the argument to the current Supreme Court so they can strike down Roe versus Wade. Yeah, he said that. That's what I'm saying. He's using the entire state of Ohio to push his extreme right-wing agenda.
I actually, here's my feelings on it. Like, I know that the Supreme Court is now 5-4 in favor of conservatives. I don't think they're going to strike down.
There's no way.
Well, there is a way. I mean,
I shouldn't say there's no way. Obviously, there's always a way, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it might get to the Supreme Court. It might not. I don't know. We'll see. But if it does, it's gonna. I have a feeling it's going to be 5-4 again in favor of abortion. Not,
They have already said during the whole Kavanaugh thing that they do not want to get into the Roe versus Wade again.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Kavanaugh, as opposed to before he was put on the board, like they said they're not gonna. If it comes to us, we're not gonna see it. Well, and that's up to them. They can do that
if they follow years of tradition, which usually they do, and precedent. Roe v. Wade is a precedent, a very strict, hard precedent that came down all the way to the Supreme Court, and it should just be forever. That should be cemented in our law as law, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's not one of those gray area fucking things that it was decided. And for it to be decided again is absolutely ludicrous, because if anything, we're a more, if you look at the entire population of the United States, we're a much more progressive nation than we are a Republican nation. I know that only 130 million people vote in our general election, but that's not. I mean, we have way more people than that in this country, and the majority of people, the vast majority, are more progressive than are conservative. So that's one thing that should just be set in stone, and we never look back. It's sort of like slavery. Nobody's ever gonna, well, at least hopefully, not gonna look back and say slavery's a good thing, and let's take it to the Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised some of the politicians we have today don't say that, actually.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? Like that should be in our rearview mirror, and we never look back. The same thing with Roe v. Wade. We should never look back on that. A woman has a right to choose what she does to her own fucking body. It's sort of like taking away somebody's right to smoke cigarettes or smoke weed. I can choose to do what I want with my own body. Like, if I want to fucking smoke weed until I die, that's what I'm gonna do. And that nobody should tell me you shouldn't do that, or
I'm sick of like this fetus like you have an abortion is killing. Do you have any memories of being a fetus, Frank?
No, I don't.
No, how about you, Eric? Do you remember being a fetus?
The only argument,
because none of that stuff happens.
No, because I barely remember being a baby.
Yeah,
because those memories and stuff like that don't form until after birth.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you're incapable of remembering anything as a fetus because you are not a child yet.
And you're
not a human being yet.
Anybody that says otherwise is full of fucking shit.
You're a clump of flesh with, like, barely any neurons.
Yeah, it's all because the religious right, well, you have a soul.
And how dare you, Freak 5? You're already exiled, you son of a bitch. So there you go. Freak 5 says, LOL, slavery is a good thing if you aren't the slave. But see, that
wow,
that's the whole point, man. Like we're supposed to govern for the people that were slaves, or the poor people that were oppressed, but we're not a nation like that anymore. So to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if it got all the way to the Supreme Court and it ended up being 5-4 the other way. It really wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, let me get into my stinko real quickly, guys. My stinko this week is Stephen Mnuchin. Why is he not in prison right now? Because the law is very, very fucking clear, all right? The Congress asked for Trump's tax returns, which is where all the crimes are. I mean, it wasn't the Russia thing. The Russia thing was just fucking bullshit from the beginning.
No, I still think there are a lot more things to drop as far as the Russian thing is going.
No, the Russia thing is dead, man. It's done. There's nothing. Like, he's too stupid. Trump is too stupid to do anything to be a Manchurian candidate, man. There's nothing to that whole collusion.
I'm not saying him. I'm saying there's people involved, because there already have been a lot of indictments involved in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because you're saying like, no, there's nothing that happened. Yes, there are, because
No.
there are a ton of people that have been arrested because of this.
No, I'm saying whoever was arrested was arrested, but Trump, I mean, as shitty as I think Trump is, there's no collusion there. There never was from the get, man. Like, this whole thing was just fucking bullshit. And the only reason, I'm glad that Manafort got caught up in it and all those other dickheads like Flynn and everybody else that got, you know, Stone and all these fucking operatives that are worthless fucking human beings that I could care less about. And I don't care. I could care less about Trump too, but they were looking in the wrong place from the beginning. The tax returns, on the other hand, that's where you're going to find a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. The fact that Steven Mnuchin is standing in the way of that, and the law is super clear, you shall provide these tax returns if Congress asks for them, or the committees. It's super clear. Steven Mnuchin should be in jail right now. I made a comment, and I'm not too far off base when I say this. If I had been the Treasury Secretary, and I'm obviously a person of color, I'd be in fucking jail right now. And why Steven Mnuchin isn't locked up, pending trial for contempt of Congress and obstruction of justice is beyond me. And he should spend 5 years in prison, which is the maximum statute, so we could set a precedent. Anybody doing this, anybody that's hedging a president towards authoritarianism is going to be punished. And this is clear obstruction and clear contempt of Congress. And he should have, when that deadline hit, the Congress should have been on the phone with the authorities saying, we need this person arrested for contempt of Congress. I'm Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and I am authorizing this action, and he should be in fucking jail right now. There should be no, it's clear. It's black and white. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should be in fucking jail. He should have been in jail a long time ago for financial crimes and other things. But, Trump has let every fox in the henhouse in his administration, literally. I mean, you look at education, he put in one of the worst possible people you can put in there, and he put one of the worst possible people into the Treasury Secretary in Steven Mnuchin. And now's the opportunity to put this motherfucker away, and they aren't doing a fucking thing. That's why this country's government is a fucking joke. It's a joke. And anybody that says otherwise is nuts, man. I mean, the fact that Steven Mnuchin is not in jail is indicative of everything that is wrong with this country. Instead of the immigrants that are in cages, the little kids that are being separated and put in cages, Steven Mnuchin should be one of those people in a fucking cage. He should be the only person in a cage right now. And he should be ashamed of himself. And I don't know, maybe I'm off base. What do you think, Breakman? Am I off base? Should this guy not be in jail for defying Congress's orders?
God knows at this point. Like, so many people have defied and lied to Congress and gotten away with it. It's just, anybody with money apparently can defy Congress.
Let me look at chat.
Just sad.
It is fucking sad, man.
I mean, because look, I remember when they brought all the baseball players up on the whole steroid thing. Like, they were lying to everyone's faces when they were denying it, and everyone knew they were lying, and they got away with it.
Yeah.
None more punished for lying to Congress.
Well, Steven Mnuchin is a fucking financial fraud, and he should have been in jail a long time ago. And now's your opportunity, government, to prove to the American people that you're standing up for the right fucking things. And they ain't doing it. We talked about calling congressmen earlier, Breakman. You know what we should be doing right now? Protesting. There should be mass protest right now to put Steven Mnuchin in jail. Because if he's above the law, then Trump's above the law, and we've lost fucking everything. And it's just a matter of fucking time before Trump does what I've been saying from the very fucking beginning, become an authoritarian dictator. Dungeon says someone outside of the IRS has already seen Trump's tax returns. That was 1 year tax returns. It was the author of the book that took a look at his businesses, lost the suit, and was forced to turn his returns over to the guy's lawyers. I know, I've seen a lot of MSNBC. Dungeon, I know who you're talking about, and he's already indicated that there's a lot of shady shit in those taxes. All he can say is that if people are looking for anything in those reports, they need to go back further than 10 years. Actually, I don't think so, Dungeon. I agree with him. I'm sorry, go ahead and finish. I was going to say, I think there's enough tax evasion in the current 6-year taxes that that are pretty shady. at best.
I was saying, like, I think they need to go back to, like, his father's time. Like, we know, like, his father was shady as shit. Like, I bet there's the shit linking that family back as far as...
there's a statute of limitations.
And it's not just him. It'd be so many other people. And I know there's a statute of limitations.
But there's a small... And I've kind of researched this a little bit. There's some exceptions to the rules when it comes to statutes of limitations on these things, Break. But if, for instance, they look at 6 years of tax returns and they find that there's something shady or kind of shady and they need to go back further, they can go back as far as they need. So I'm saying if they get his tax returns, this is going to be the thing. It's not the fucking Russia thing. They're not going to link Trump to it. I mean, even though we know Trump is shady as shit, and probably, after he got elected, probably did a lot of shady shit with Russia and all this type of stuff. It's going to be the taxes and tax evasion. I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, otherwise, the option that we have, vote him out, unless he becomes a dictator, and then at that point, fucking forget it. There's nothing anybody can do. Looking in chat, Freakfight says Frank should be in a cage too because of his singing. You're exiled, you son of a bitch. Dungeon says Wall Street Kid on the NES had perfect tax returns.
I know what we could do, Frank. We could just we could just basically force Trump to play a very terrible video game.
Like Superman 64 or E.T. or what else? Pac-Man 2600. Yeah, stuff like. I think we should. That would be great. I want to get him like all high and drunk and shit. Like maybe if he gets like really fucked up, maybe he'll realize how much of a piece of shit he is. No. Oh, and you're thinking maybe like he commits suicide or something? That'd be kind of sweet, man.
Or start. When you're drunk, sometimes you talk a lot,
and then like
start revealing things you don't mean.
Oh, I see where you're going with that, man. That's a possibility, man.
He starts telling the truth, and then we can bust him.
Yes.
I like it.
You're getting it.
I like
yes.
it. I like it. Freakfight says a kind of a stinko, kind of a sweeto. Recently, Des Moines Diocese released a bunch of names of pedophile priests. And one of them was my stepfather's teacher when he went to oh boy, that's great. This guy visited their house over Christmas Eve. That's a stinko part. Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, speaking of sweetos,
dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet, sweet of the week.
All right, I want to do mine real quick. I mentioned it before. I got a free ticket to see Hellboy this weekend from the guys over at Geek Live.
So we know what your stinko is next week.
Yeah, exactly. Geek Vibe Nation was gracious to give me a ticket, so appreciate that, guys. Really, really do appreciate it. All right, Break, what's your sweeto of the week?
Mine goes to The Impossible. It happened this week. Is somebody was actually able to photograph a black hole.
I saw that, man. That's fascinating. It was a
historic.
I need to see pictures. I haven't bothered to look at it yet.
Oh my god,
it's not really the black hole itself. It's actually what's around the black hole they were able to see.
Yeah,
but this was believed impossible.
Yes, and
for
you know
the
what?
longest time, it was absolutely believed impossible, and they were able to accomplish it. Which
is
amazing.
And it was the direct. It was because of a woman. A woman was the one that calculated things just the right way to make it possible to photograph. So it's a mind-boggling picture, Eric. Like when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Fucking shit."
You're just supposed to say they photographed a black hole and the Cygnus wasn't around it. You nerd.
It was a great picture. And it's scary. It's like really fucking scary because the vastness of it and just the implications of a black hole are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy.
I mean, it's something we've known for a long time exists. It's not just the science fiction fantasy it's always talked about. We've always known that a black hole exists.
Yeah. There's one in the Milky Way too.
Right. But there's no way to take a picture of it because it's black.
Yeah.
In the vacuum of space, which is black. Mm-hmm. So this is an amazing feat.
Yeah, you have to.
Since we're talking about space, I'm gonna bring it back to comics and say how I told you that they had Android 18 and Captain Marvel fight each other in a death battle.
Yeah.
And 18-1. Well, I think at the time they hadn't considered binary because binary hadn't been a part of that character's development. So like they based on their default abilities. So yeah, 18-1.
Yeah.
18 would win.
Freak5 says, more Sweetos. The beer I'm drinking is awesome. And he says, another Sweeto break has taken a shit in his toilet this week. Someone flushed it before he had to see it. So you got away with it this week, Breakman. But you did poop today, so that's cool. Breakman, you're Sweeto.
What? Who?
You're Sweeto of the week, man.
I know, I already did it.
Oh, Eric, you're Sweeto.
I don't really have any.
All right. A free-for-all, I think I'm going to hold off. I mean, we could do the whole abortion thing again, but I think we did a pretty in-depth job talking about it when we were talking about your stinko, Eric, unless you guys have anything else to add.
No.
I guess the question is, Break, do you think it's going to get to the Supreme Court again, honestly?
No, I don't. I forget what their name is. The Civil Liberties Group is already suing them, Like, it never gets to the Supreme Court.
The ACLU.
ACLU, thank you. Yeah. Like, for instance, they're one of the major groups that's already suing them, and they've won in court every single time, and it's not gotten to the Supreme Court, so...
Yeah.
No,
I just
think
wish
this is just
they
a waste
didn't
of money
have to do
and
this
time.
every goddamn time.
It is
this is a waste of mine and Eric's tax dollars.
Yes.
Also,
it's an insult to
can we-
every one of us.
Yeah.
I want to see not only the 20-week ban get repealed, but I also want to see them to get punished for even doing it in the first place.
Yeah, well,
I
punishment
would
you
like
can
that,
never.
but those assholes are just going to get reelected and shit.
Oh yeah, which I don't understand. Why do people? Fuck, people are so
It's
dumb.
because I think in the rural areas of Ohio, it's very red. In the state, in the city parts of Ohio, it's very blue.
Aren't those people
And
suffering enough?
I think the people in the rural areas are more vote more than the city suckers.
This is what I don't understand. Aren't the rural people suffering enough from the fucking tax cuts? Like, aren't
it's they're blinded by religion. I'm telling you, like
Jesus Christ, man.
This is the religious faith. Everything they go to church.
You want to know why I hate
Sundays
religion so much? Get out of your goddamn bubble and look at the world for once.
Yeah.
And they can't support Democrats because they support killing babies, stuff like that. But it's okay to kill adults.
And
That's
this
perfectly
is,
fine.
I guess this is my feelings about the Electoral College. I fucking hate it because it gives people out in the rural areas way too much power. Like, one person, one vote does not exist in the United States at all. It does not exist.
Well, the Electoral College is designed so some states won't have a bigger election pool than others.
If those states if those states have more people, they have more people. Breakman, that's just the way it is. Like, life isn't fair, right? So why should we fucking kowtow? Why should we fucking kowtow to electoral votes all the fucking time? One person, one vote does not mean anything in this country, especially when it comes to the general.
Especially
election.
when the electors could just choose to betray the people that elected them.
Yeah,
and vote for whoever they want.
What I'm saying is, get rid of the two-party system. Get rid of the Electoral College. Have multiple tickets, not just Democrats and Republicans. Tribalism doesn't fucking work in this country. I want 4, 5, 10 people to be on that fucking final ticket. That way, when we go to vote for the president, everybody's represented, right? We can have Green Party, we can have Independent, we can have Republican, we can have Democrat, we can have Libertarian, we can have 10, 15, whatever the number is. We can, let's say it's 7. 7 seems fair as anything right now, you know what I mean? To boil it down to 2 people, and I've already heard people bitching about Bernie Sanders if he gets the nomination, or he's not a true Democrat and all this fucking bullshit. Then fucking change the system to include everybody, not just two
fuck
things.
Obama for basically calling progressives purists.
Yeah, I hate that fucking talk because it's bullshit. It's fucking nonsense. But I don't know, man. I hate the fucking Electoral College with a passion because it really is not one person, one vote. If you're in the outskirts and you're in the rural part of the country, you have tons of sway, and it should not be that way. And if you don't like it, move to a fucking state that doesn't. You know what I mean? And vote there. Vote. I can't stand it, man. Like the people always complain. Well, you know, if the electoral college wasn't in place, then California would decide the fucking election. Well, they have a lot of fucking people in California. You know what I mean? They have a lot of people in New York. So what? They have a lot of people in fucking Texas. You don't see me bitching about the amount of people in fucking Texas. And I'm an independent. I lean Democrat. I'm more of a democratic socialist than anything. But I don't care if Texas has you know, more people in it than Colorado. It's just fair. They should get more sway than all of Colorado, because we don't have as many people here in Colorado than we do in fucking Texas. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's just whack, man. And if what is it? The past fucking take out the Obama years, we lost the election. The Democrats lost the election with what's his face, the internet guy that says he invented the fucking internet. What's his name? The Clinton vice president. What was that guy's name? It fucking.
He's super Cyril.
What the hell is his fucking name?
He's totally Cyril. Totally being Cyril. Bar peg.
Gore. Al Gore.
Yes.
Al Gore. Jesus Christ. Gore lost it not because he was, you know, outvoted. He was outvoted because of the electoral fucking system. This time it happened to Hillary Clinton. As much as I hate Hillary Clinton, I kind of think she would have been slightly better than Trump. Not much better, but slightly.
Dungeon Busters were the only democracy that uses electoral college.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's dumb. It's antiquated. It was meant
because no one else thinks it's a good idea.
It was a good idea back in the day. I could see like
for slave owners apparently.
Yeah, for slave, I could definitely see it then. But for 2019, it's fucking antiquated and it sucks and it's bullshit.
If it was going to benefit slave owners, that wasn't a good thing.
No, I know.
It was meant to benefit. It was meant to. It was made so they couldn't game the system.
Yeah.
This was so. It was designed originally so slaves would have a voice. Basically, because they were a group that was largely hated, even by the people that supported them. They still wanted them to not have the same rights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
so it was to give. Basically, the Electoral College was designed to give the voice to the small people, like the people who don't have a voice.
It doesn't work anymore
because they're outnumbered and such like that. But like I said, chat, the system's broken.
It is definitely broken because when the majority of people want to see somebody in office, and this time it happened to be Hillary Clinton, and it didn't happen, that makes more than half of the country fucking pissed off. You know what I mean? I mean, it just boggles my mind. That's why I think the only shot that we got at getting Trump out of office is Bernie this time.
Freak thinks I'm like disagreeing with him and stuff like that. Like no, it's a broken system. I'm just like Dungeon Buster was saying. Like I was just trying to.
So why isn't it working as intended? Is the question we need to ask ourselves.
It's just not. It's antiquated. It's antiquated.
Well, a lot of the problem is that a large group of Americans just don't vote.
That's true too.
The biggest problem. Is that most of the people who are registered to vote don't. It's only like I think 46% of the population that can vote votes.
Yeah, well, not only
the system wasn't designed like that. It was designed with everybody. It was designed to like I think 80% or more voting, and because that doesn't happen, there's a lot of things are screwed up.
Not only does it not work, Breakman, but it's like it's so antiquated that, you know, even now, like Republicans don't want people voting because they know the majority of people in this country are progressive. Not only Democratic, but progressive. Someone like to the left of Bernie Sanders, if you can believe that. You know, like if you ask most of the people in this country, 70% want Medicare for all. That's a huge majority of the fucking country. You know what I mean? That's saying this is what we want, and nobody's fucking wanting to do it except for people like Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren's kind of wavered a little bit on it, but I think if you pushed her in one direction or the other, she would be on the side of Medicare for all.
I think she'd be on the side of which one she thought she could get the most votes for.
Yeah, well, I mean,
honestly, that's what happens with.
She's been pretty progressive if you look at her record, especially when it comes to breaking up financial institutions. And
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that most politicians, even Lincoln, he bowed to some other to what he thought would get him more votes and stuff like that, or more support. Like, for instance, he freed the slaves during the war, not really because he wanted to at that point, because he needed more soldiers. And he needed the support of the abolitionists. So he freed the slaves to get their support. He didn't really want to abolish slavery that soon.
Yeah, you're right.
He kind of wanted to work towards it and do it.
Yeah, he wanted to be an increment. It's kind of like now. Like, there are a lot of people that want to be really incrementalist about things and say, oh, well, Medicare for all is a pipe dream and we'll get to it eventually. No. I'm tired of the fucking insurance companies raping people, and no wonder the prices are so fucking high. If there's one thing that I want the government to regulate, it's fucking pricing on drugs. If you guys have seen my dad's insulin prices, it's fucking outrageous, man. It's outrageous what he spends on fucking insulin. It's fucking crazy, and he needs that to live, and it's crazy that anybody has to decide between, being, like decide on different things to cut out of your life in order for you to be able to pay for your fucking medication. It's fucking insane. I wanted to say in chat, Dungeon says, I'm for fixes to the Electoral College, and some states are already thinking of awarding a percentage of their electoral votes depending on the popular vote in their state instead of someone getting everything. But otherwise, I won't shed a tear if it goes. I agree with you 100%, Dungeon. If the Electoral College went away tomorrow, it wouldn't hurt me in the least. I'd be like, good fucking riddance. Freak5 says, if you think about it today, the people supporting Electoral College think that the smaller group of voters should have a voice, are also anti-LGBTQ. That's a great point, because they are a minority of the population. Something needs to be done. Nobody's happy with the Electoral College right now, except for extreme right people, apparently. Freak5 says, actually, Lincoln freed the slaves to keep England out of the war because England had already freed their slaves.
That was part of it, but
that is he's right.
More, he needed soldiers.
He needed soldiers, but he also was kind of afraid that England would enter the war if it wasn't for that. So there was a lot more to Lincoln's decision.
There were a lot of things to his decision. Like, he had a lot of plans for after the war too that unfortunately didn't happen because of his assassination.
Lincoln was not the greatest fucking dude in the world when it came to slavery. Let's not kid ourselves.
He had some really good plans for what he was gonna do. Like, he had a lot of
did he want to set up an economic base for the recently freed slaves?
What he was doing was giving them land. He was setting apart part of the coast for them, the eastern coast. A large section of the eastern coast was going to be given to the slaves.
Can you imagine that?
And then he was assassinated, and obviously the guy who followed him was
piece of shit. Yeah.
Not.
Can you imagine that if we wouldn't be talking about reparations today, man? If the slaves had been given a lot of the East Coast, they'd be banking on that property, man. Can you imagine that? They'd be making so much fucking money.
And for us, and for the time, it wasn't it probably wouldn't have been the greatest land because a lot of it was like Florida and stuff like that. But today.
Today it would have been fucking gold, man. The slave ancestry would have been just fine, man. But I do agree that we got to look at reparations for slaves and descendants of slaves, man. I don't care how long it's been. There's a time where we got to recognize.
Also, giving some land back to the First Nations.
Yeah, there's been plenty of land given in that regard, but I agree there should be more land given, but. And there's plenty of land in the United States to give. It's not like we don't have the land. Like I mean, if you look at fucking Wyoming is like barren. There's nothing in Wyoming, man. Like Kansas, same fucking thing, man. Like there's plenty of land to be given. But Freak5 says he doesn't agree with reparations. Freak5, I am
But you didn't read
all.
the rest of his sentence.
He said this doesn't need to be mentioned. Blah blah blah. Okay.
No, he said, I don't agree with reparations, but if it's given to me, I'll take it.
I'll take free stuff. Sure.
Yeah. No, I actually do think it should be given, because I think we have to start atoning for some of our atrocities in this country. I also think that we have to start getting out of a lot of these wars. We're still in Iraq. We're still in Afghanistan. What has it been? 17 fucking years. And we got to start, like, I know we give money to Israel every year. What about giving the Iraqi people, the civilians, some money, some of that money? You know, for all the fucking civilians that we've killed in these endless fucking wars that weren't called for by anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and but when I call former presidents warmongers, like, I get
Obama.
talked down to.
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama was a warmonger, no question.
Yeah, and you know what? When I say that to people on the left, what I get is, well, a lot of that stuff was justified. Like,
Oh,
he was just
fuck
trying to
that.
save people's lives over in other countries, stuff like that. I'm like, we should never have been involved in any of that.
I totally agree with you, Breakman. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm very critical of Obama. He went from, I've mentioned it on the show, went from 2 wars to 7 wars. That was the change that he brought. And I was excited when Trump said,
But
we're
he's
getting,
not a warmonger, if you ask
Oh,
me.
he's him and Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State at the time, and she was a big time fucking warmonger, a big time war criminal too.
Yeah,
So,
I think a lot with Hillary was she wanted to look tough, so that's why she was always pro-war.
yeah, well, look, we're living in a different age. I think we're living in the new hippie age now, and I know that sounds
Like,
kind of
I think-
weird.
I think the conservative idea of looking tough is like messed up because like there's got to be things that make you look tough that aren't
Don't involve killing
about-
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I saw a video that Chelsea Manning released
Like,
of hold on.
about my
Eric.
commitment to like ending this bullshit problem called healthcare.
I don't
Why
under-
isn't that tough?
That should be the easiest thing in the world. 70% of the nation wants Medicare for all. Let's give it to them. It's not going to be a bad thing. You think it's going to be a bad thing if people like have access to fucking health care? If I were to get into an accident right now, I'd have no fucking health care. So I'd be in debt for the rest of my fucking
More
life.
importantly, we're more worried about what might happen instead of actually doing an experiment.
Right. Let's fucking do it. Medicare for all the way. It's going to do nothing but save money. That's been proven over and over again by economists and anybody under the sun with a brain
We're
can
gonna-
see it.
To get bills to pass, we're gonna have to sell them to people as like trial periods or something.
No, and then I hear this bullshit argument. Well, people are going to lose coverage because they're going to lose their employer's private insurance. I don't give a fuck.
Let me say right here and now, employers should not be involved in
Right.
our medical insurance. It is absolutely one of the stupidest things
Yes.
this country's ever done. Like, they
100%.
should not be involved in our medical insurance. Period.
100%, Breakman. You hit the nail on the head. That means you are tied to that fucking employer, and you know what?
Yep.
Those employers don't give a fuck about you. How often do you have to fight for a fucking raise? You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit, man. No, I totally disagree.
And companies should be paying us more money instead, like, because of
Yes.
the laws in this country. They're saddled with having to provide us with insurance.
At bare minimum, we should be making $15 an hour. And if you live in a place like California, it should
And
be
if
higher.
if we had Medicare for all, they wouldn't need to give us insurance, and they could give us more money.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't have to match your benefits. None of that nonsense. So, at the bare minimum, $15 an hour, I would say $20, $25 would probably be the right pay, so people could actually make a living in this country and enjoy their lives instead of fucking working 2-3 jobs. It's fucking insane what people have to do nowadays.
One of the things, if we got the insurance out of working for companies, people are going to make more money.
Yeah.
Just because the companies are spending a lot of money on insurance.
Yes.
That money should be going to the pockets of the employees.
Yeah,
But no.
absolutely.
Speaking of cyberpunk futures, CD Red, Project Red, I think they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077, especially with all the things I've heard about it.
I think it looks good. I have to wait and reserve judgment until I actually see the game. But
Aside from the game itself, there are company policies I don't care for.
yeah, the working overtime and the crunch time. Jim Sterling did a really good job on one of his videos on that.
If that's what it takes to get the game, then I don't want it.
Yeah, I agree. I think people should be treated. I've talked about this before. Like, there are other countries that you work like 40-hour work week. What's that? You know what I mean? Like they get paid the same, more than what we get paid here. Work less hours, get more time with their family during lunch hours. They get like 2-hour lunches. We are doing everything fucking backwards here. You know what I mean? Like it just is ridiculous. We should be working less for more money.
I don't even have an hour lunch. I have a 30-minute lunch.
And that's bad.
I used to have a 30-minute lunch. Now I have a 15-minute lunch.
Oh, even fucking worse. You have to scarf down your food in fucking 15 minutes. Then no wonder you're having stomach problems, Eric. Jesus fucking Christ, man. 15 minutes.
Oh no, that's not why I'm got a stomach problem today. It probably had to do with eating donuts before I went to bed.
Well, that too, but corporate credits for you as long as you can produce. Yeah, fuck that. Disparity between employer and employee is horrible. Yeah. Who was it? The Chase Morgan.
The problem with my situation at work is it's a small company, so like they don't really have alternative solutions right now.
Well, still, I've been waiting years for a game like Cyberpunk 2077. At the same time, what happened at BioWare isn't just at BioWare. Yeah, BioWare's a terrible company, man. You got Kotick making fucking $20 million a year, which is in itself stupidly ridiculous. I mean, when you got the CEO making $20 million and your average employees making, you know, less than $15 an hour or something, that's fucking retarded, man. It's just.
I wonder how fucked up the development process was for The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Let's see. Freakfly says being an employee is one of the only times someone has no control of the price of what they're selling. Dungeon says it's catch-22. The artists, musicians, etc. that work on the game obviously did their best and wanted to show the world what they did. But if you don't buy it and play it, that's also your choice. Yeah, that's capitalism for you, Dungeon. But it's not.
And think about, like, for instance, Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, a lot of work went into that game. There was a lot of. You can tell there was a lot of ambition in that game, but it wasn't finished. It was a big problem, and because of like having to have a release date and crunch time and being pushed.
Well, and changing your team didn't help either.
But that doesn't say that the work that they didn't put into it wasn't good, because they put a lot of great work into it. I really liked it, and despite the problems.
Sterling brought up a good point. Dungeon said, even with BioWare magic, why
we need BioWare magic?
We need to get
ridiculous term.
We need to get rid of that term. It's not BioWare magic. It's BioWare employee hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
that they deserve to get paid more for.
Absolutely,
putting up with all the conditions they had.
And don't give me this bullshit that they get paid overtime, because a lot of time you have to like prove your overtime and fight for your fucking overtime and get cheated on checks, which I've been the victim of many times in my lifetime, of being cheated on checks and having to beg my fucking superiors for that money. So. You know, it's just ridiculous. Like, let's keep that for next week. We're gonna put quote BioWare magic in next week in our free for all, because I need to get out of here, and we got GDP to do after this.
I got food to eat.
Yeah, you guys can join. I'm gonna take about 15-20 minutes or so to get set up for Grinder Dance Party. The theme tonight is nasty, so I'm gonna stop the stream for just a second, give everybody a chance to take a pee break. I'm pulling a a non Avengers Endgame here, so you have a chance to go pee and whatever. So when we come back, or when I come back after the show, we'll be doing a Grinder Dance Party. I'll be setting up for that and going to the restroom myself. So there you go. Plugs. Breakman, go.
Follow me at break_man or at RPGrinders, where you can send me Dear Breakman questions.
Yeah, there you go.
Hashtag Dear Breakman.
Hashtag Dear Breakman, exactly. And hashtag I Poop Today. Send. I know Breakman loves the I Poop Today stories, so make sure you send him those. That'd be great.
Hashtag I Didn't Flush.
All right, Eric, plugs.
You can find reviews I've written on sites like BostonBasherBrigade.com, TotallyGN.com. In fact, there are 2 reviews this week on TotallyGN. That's Toad Jam and Earl. And the other one is Fate Extella Link. And there's also other sites I've written for, like FogNetwork.com and totally HonestGamers.com. And I'm gonna plug a couple new anime seasons are out. There's Attack on Titan Season 3 Core 2, which is it's still season 3, but it's the other half of season 3.
Oh, sweet.
They basically did a mid-season break. That's what a cores are. But in addition to that, the new season of One Punch Man is up.
Yeah. All right.
And if you were interested, if you like the original Fruits Basket, there's a remake, and hopefully it'll be more faithful to the manga, because I think the original anime didn't cover the entire story, and it left on a cliffhanger, and they never resolved it. And there are apparently a couple of issues with the anime, like from the digi-paint that's ugly as fuck to look at nowadays, and the fact that it wasn't as faithful to the manga as it should have been.
All right. Any other plugs, Eric?
Have a good weekend.
All right. Dungeon says, Dear Breakman, I ate a brownie today. Send butt pics to @Breakman, Freak5 says.
Okay.
And let's see what
am I
else.
supposed to say no to that?
You don't really want me sending you a butt pic, do you? Do you, Breakman?
I was hoping you weren't going to send yours.
Well, he didn't specify. He didn't say, like, send hot chick butt pics to
Also plug Sekiro, and you can buy a limited divine confetti and just wreck a lot of bosses with it.
There you go. All right. Hey, Dungeon, did you poop today? Freak5 says. All right. My plugs are as follows. Stick around. This is exclusive to Twitch, so if you're not in live chat when I do these Grinder dance parties, then you're going to be kind of out of luck. So I'll be doing that right after the show.
Here's one thing from Sekiro that I missed that Dark Souls did, but like finding poop. Like, why can't you find and use poop on enemies?
Ew, gross. All right.
Yeah, why isn't there, like, in more games you have to go to the bathroom? Like,
no, because like in Dark Souls, you could throw poop at an enemy and it inflicts toxic, and then toxic can wreck their HP.
Do we really want
do
that?
stuff like that in the South Park game
Do
too.
we really?
But like the conceit of it is you also get toxic.
Yeah. Do we really want that though? Break. We don't want to have to poop in video games.
Really, she's Tapper Demon by putting toxic on him by throwing shit at him.
I'm just saying, don't you ever like watch a show and just think at some point, like, wouldn't it make more sense if they had to go to the bathroom at some point? Just,
Yeah.
I mean, like 24. Like, shouldn't there be an episode where he goes to the freaking bathroom at some
I don't
point?
look. I want to get away from real life when I play video games, man.
Sorry about that.
I don't want to. I don't have to do more real life shit in video games. I do enough of that already, man. All right, my plugs are as follows. You can follow me on Twitter @FrankBranches, @RPGrinders if you want to send Break relationship advice questions, or just anything in general. We always mention everything that you send to @RPGrinders. You can follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders on any of the systems, whether it be Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft, Xbox, whatever. You can follow me there. I want to see another Hellboy, so I know it's not getting great reviews. Go out and see Hellboy. I'll plug Hellboy. I'm going to go see it this weekend. Luckily, I got a free ticket, but I really do want to see more Hellboy movie. And I heard this one's pretty gory, and bloody, so that's always a plus. So that's about it.
I mean, compared to the original one, that wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
which was still rated R, by the way.
Yeah, and it follows the comics more closely, so I'm interested in that. If it's a close comic adaptation, I think I'll be down, regardless of what the reviews say. So they picked the right guy for it. I know Ron Perlman was Hellboy, but the other guy is the guy from Stranger Things, Harbor.
Unfortunately, Perlman can't do Hellboy anymore because he's old.
Well, he could still do it. He said he would be down, but it's a different Hellboy for a new age, so whatever. Right after this, stick around. I'm going to be doing Grinder Dance Party. Well, I'll be playing all your favorite requests. The theme tonight is nasty, and I pooped today, so 2 themes to go for tonight. So anything to do with nasty or nastiness or pooping or I pooped today, whatever. Apparently Freak5 has a bunch of songs that he's going to quote unquote bless us with tonight, so that should be fun. So stick around for that. Other than that, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, We are out. Thanks, everybody. Oh, I want to thank the chat. Let me quickly run through chat. Freak5, Dungeon, of course. Another TV viewer, Apricot Droop Fruit, Commander Root, S1 or Safaka or S1 Faka, and Tade. Thank you all so much for joining the chat. If you're listening in archives, thank you all so much. Should have been here. You could have enjoyed a Grinder dance party tonight. But anyways, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Till then, we are out. Thanks, everybody. Come on.
And I mean, like, all these movies and television shows, when they go to the bathroom, they all just, like, wash their hands at the sink and look at themselves in the mirror and shit. Like, nobody actually uses the bathroom. It's ridiculous.
We didn't get any cowbell, man. We needed more cowbell today.
I on the other side,
It's gonna be
I mean,
a
wouldn't
fun
Jack Bauer, like, wouldn't it make sense if he goes into a gunfight at one point and he's just like, oh man, I really gotta take a shit.
On that note, thanks everybody. We're out. Jesus Christ, break. Only you, man. Only you. All right, chat. Give me a few minutes. I gotta set up. I'm gonna turn off the stream for right now, but give me about I don't know, 10-15 minutes or so, and I'll be back with some.
Yeah, I got one more plug that I completely forgot.
You have to do them next week, Eric. Sorry, I ended the deal.
Oh, they can't hear us. Okay.
Yeah. They can hear us in chat.
Oh, that's why I wanted to say it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Say it quick.
Tubi TV has a bunch of the original Sentai series on it. So if you like Power Ranger stuff, but not actually Power Rangers, that's a good place to go because practically all of them are up there now.
I do like Tubi. Tubi is a good free service.
The only problem I have with it is it's got ads. That's why it's free.
It does have ads, but whatever. You can't get.
And it's actually crashed on me a couple times.
Oh, really? I've never had that problem, but whatever. All right.
Got messed up last night, but it did crash on me once.
Oh, that sucks, man. All right, chat. Like I said, I'm going to stop the stream, but I will be right back because I got to stop the YouTube stream and then get set up for Grinder Dance Party. But it should be a good time tonight. Hopefully, you can stick around. I will be playing any and all requests to do with the themes tonight. So, you know what? Stick around. You'll have fun. I promise. And I don't bite much. So, there you go. All right, later. Later, everybody.